on top here, and they're not going to catch him. Lather Up continues to roll, and he's rolled to a Pepsi North American Cup.
Last year's Horse of the Year, Bojangles, looks for redemption after facing defeat for the first time against Odds on Mr. Mamba.
Here's Odds on Mr. Mamba and Brandon Boulevard in between. Brandon Boulevard or Odds on Mr. Mamba hitting the line together.
Tonight, dreams become reality under the lights of Woodbine, Mohawk Park. The North America Cup is next. Welcome to America's Day at the Races here on FS2, and there is the site. Lovely Toronto, the CN Tower, of course, world famous there in Toronto. We're going to head out to Campbellville, Ontario, and talk plenty about the North America Cup. And when you're in North America, you got to be all over. We're going to be at Hoosier Park as well, Anderson, Indiana, with plenty of standardbred racing action there tonight, too. So a jam-packed show, 3 hours with you here. FS2 for a couple hours, and the North America Cup. Some great racing, some great betting opportunities, and a great time. Happy to have you joining us here on FS2. It's America's Day at the Races. And welcome once again, Chris Griffin here with Paul Verderosa, of course, as we get set to cover a tremendous night, Paul, and it's the North America Cup. Some big heavy hitters, some big names, and some interesting matchups later on this evening.
Looking forward to it tonight, Chris. All the stars, they've come out to play. Lots of storylines to talk about. Bojangles possibly coming off the mile of his life in his first career loss. Can he rebound there? Luadipa and Be Perfect PG should be a great matchup there because Be Perfect PG is a perfect 9 for 9 to start her career. Minnie and Mickey, Louie's girl. We'll see if they're tuned up, ready to go with Twin B Joe Fresh. And right off the bat, Lexus Cody, too, so can't beat it tonight.
Yeah, plenty going on at Woodbine Mohawk Park. And, of course, we did talk about Hoosier Park as well, as they've got some great racing action there. And we got an entire team that's going to be joining us here tonight, too. Let's take a look at what's going to happen here tonight. On tonight's show, we got so much going on, Paul, especially those top selections from you. But we're going to cover races 5 through 11 at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Big stakes races with plenty of wagering opportunities. The Pepsi North America Cup, of course, the highlight there, race 11. And then at Hoosier, talked about that, a fast track out there. We've got races 10 and 11, but 7 through 13 on the show this evening. So really looking forward to that. Let's jump to a post parade right now as they are on the track for today's 7th race. And it is going to be at Hoosier Park. And it's a nice race coming up. Where'd you land here as we take a look at this field set for this post parade?
Oh,
you land on a favorite or a long shot?
Oh, no, a long shot.
I like it. Let's start with that post parade. Here's the one, whole lot of luck.
Still looking for that lot of luck. First win on the season, 0 for 10 this year, just a second and a third.
There is the 2, a big long shot, 45 to 1, Moment's Truth.
Moving up the class ladder here after trying the non-winners of 1,000 in the last 2.
And we're going to take a look at the 3 here, and Babes Darla.
Got parked out a little bit last time out, still finished 4th, beating a few lengths in there.
Here comes the 4, 5 to 1, getting some respect. John DeLong, Bougiful.
Yeah, just hasn't been able to punch through at this level, but keeps picking up checks. You'd like to see that with any horse when they pay for their way.
The 5 is 16 to 1.
You know, way back early last time. We'll see tonight if they're a little bit more aggressive from post 5.
Kyle Wolfong will be driving Northern Lucky Girl at 37 to 1, the 6.
I know it was just a Trackmaster 70 rating race, but at least she won. A lot of them can't say they've done that lately.
Here is your favorite, 1 to 2, Schnapps.
So far back early, probably going to be that way again. Should have won last time out, though, I got to say, even though so far back.
A few prices here towards the outside. Here's Bombay Parkway at 13 to 1.
Landed on this horse. Wasn't all that long ago that she had some decent seconds in some open, so looking at her at a price.
Bless beginning at 12 to 1.
Her last 2 at this level, they've been okay, a win in a second. So we'll see what she can do from a wide post.
And to the far outside, we're going to take a look at Dry Creek Regal heading onto the track here, Cordarius Stewart at 26 to 1.
I know just 1 for 14, but last 3 are tosses because of some various reasons.
Well, Paul's always got top selections here, but we're going to get some help there. And Anderson, Indiana, of course. And we're going to welcome in another member of our team tonight. Emily Gaskin is there. Trackside, of course. We got races 7 through 13. A great late double, or races 10 and 11. Nice double later on tonight. Emily, how are you? And happy to be with you here at Hoosier.
I'm happy to be joined with you guys as well. It's a beautiful night where you are, beautiful night north of the border. It's also a beautiful night in Anderson, Indiana. It is sunny, it is 75, and we are enjoying a great night at the races. As you said, it's going to be an action-packed night here at Harrah's Hoosier Park. As we saw there a little earlier, we've got a great open trot a little later on in the program. We've also got Indiana's Sire Stakes action coming up a little later, a great field of 3-year-old pacing fillies. So some great action at Hoosier Park, and as we said, it is is a beautiful night for live racing. We're going to kick things off, guys, with a field of conditioned fillies and mares pacers. Right now, we've got 3 to 5 favoritism on the 7. This is my top choice in here. That's Schnapps from one of our leading conditioners, Charlie Stewart. Hard for me to believe she's looking for her first win of the season. She's 0 for 14, but she just missed in her last out. This will be her 3rd consecutive Hoosier Park start, and that's typically what it takes for these horses to get back accustomed to that long quarter-mile stretch. So I think it is her race to lose. If you're looking for a live long shot, though, I like the way the 4 Bougiful looked on the track, offering a little better price, and they are going to the gate. If you're looking for a price, maybe take a look at the 4. That's Bougiful at 5 to 1.
The Midwest Standardbred Horse Sale starting gate, and they are in the stretch. Here they come. They are off. Schnapps didn't waste any time, gets off to a good start. Whole lot of luck at the inside. And Dry Creek Regal from the 2nd tier is up into 3rd. Then it's Blessed Beginning moving up from the far outside post with Babes Darla. Bougiful comes next. Then to her outside, Bombay Parkway. 8th is Moment's Truth as the field now banks onto that first turn. And the last 2 here are Maddie's Jet Lady and Northern Lucky Girl. 27-3 the opening quarter. They're on the back stretch. It's Schnapps in front. Blessed Beginning is right alongside now 2nd. And then racing 3rd is Whole Lot of Luck. A length and a half further back to Dry Creek Regal, as now going up to take the lead is Blessed Beginning, just outside the half-mile pole. Blessed Beginning and Anthony Miller now in front. They have it a length as they hit the half in 54-4, 27-1 the second quarter, with Blessed Beginning in front of the 2 to 5 favorite Schnapps. Dry Creek Regal is moving up on the outside 3rd with Whole Lot of Luck at the inside. Babes Darla and Bombay Parkway are together. The next 2 are Bougiful and Moment's Truth. The last 2 are Maddie's Jet Lady and Northern Lucky Girl. Blessed Beginnings trying to give them the slip. Blessed Beginning, as she has opened up a 3-length lead coming to the top of the stretch. Schnapps is 2nd through 3 quarters in 1:22-4. 28 seconds the 3rd quarter, and Blessed Beginning is still there and out in front by 5. Schnapps, Whole Lot of Luck. Then on the far outside is Bombay Parkway, Dry Creek Regal between horses, Babes Darla at the inside. Blessed Beginning in front by 4, coming down to the finish. Schnapps and Whole Lot of Luck, but it is Blessed Beginning. Blessed Beginning holds on for the win. We've got a photo for 2nd, Whole Lot of Luck and Schnapps, then Bombay Parkway and Babes Darla in 1:51-3.
Track announcer Michael Chamberlain saying, giving him the slip, the 9. Blessed Beginning gets it done and wins at a price.
Last 2 at this level were fine. They just didn't better tonight because they bet the 7 at Schnapps, and no excuse for that runner there.
Nice way to kick things off there at Hoosier Park as far as our coverage. A nice price, and we're going to head out to Woodbine Mohawk Park, of course, because they got the North America Cup. We got race number 5 coming up, and we'll have a post parade as well. And some very familiar names here, Paul, as we take a look at this 5th race.
Yeah, some of our old friends in here, especially the number 2, Lexus Cody, and a few others in here, too, that we've seen a bunch of times.
There is the field as they are on the track here for today's 5th race. Looks like it's pretty wide open. Lexus Cody, maybe the 5-2 favoritism just based on name, but here is the 1 in Hasty Bid at 13-1.
Coming in off of 4 straight second-place finishes in the Open. Draws well inside here tonight. Stay close.
Gonna have some time with the post parades this evening.
I think
gonna be
so.
one of those
Yeah,
things,
that's
it's
one
a
of the things.
Big night. So we want to make sure everybody gets a good look at some of the contenders that are going to be trotting around there at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Have you ever been there, by the way?
Not to Woodbine Mohawk, no.
No. You've been to Canada, though?
Yes.
Okay. Hasty Bid is going to be that price there at 14-1. We will see Lexus Cody and Yannick Gingras, and they've teamed up before. I mean, they know each other quite well. Right now, sitting at 2-1, and there is Lexus Cody, as we see.
It's taken Lexus Cody a little time to get his legs under him this year, but keep in mind he did the same thing last year, so I'm not worried. Tonight should be the night where he should be cranked up and ready to go and start number 3, you would think, as he builds himself up to a win finally this season.
We're going to have a big long shot here towards the outside, and that's going to be the 3, Usain Hanover.
Well, right now we got the 4.
Yeah, they tricked me.
Usain's a little camera shy.
Aetos Kronos here is the 4.
Yeah, 3rd last time out behind Antonioni. Was beaten about 4 1/4 lanes. Good horse in his own right as well. Banked quite a bit of money last year.
There is the 3, Usain Hanover.
Yeah, beaten 4 last time out. It's going to have to be better. I think this is a tougher spot for him.
All right, and here comes the 5 in French Wine, and that's Jason Bartlett.
My top pick in here. I'm hoping the Cutler tightened him up, and he will be better for that effort tonight. Well posted.
All right, and the 6 at 33-1, Sid the Kid.
The kid's had an okay season this year against Lesser. He's going to have to step it up here, though, against this group.
29-1 right now in the 7 gains Hanover.
Just missed by a head last time out again versus Lesser, stepping up into deeper waters tonight.
And the 8 is going to be Logan Park.
Boy, Logan Park certainly looked back feeling good at home last week. Got the job done, wide open, ran well. See if he can run it back.
And the 9 is Osceola at 45-1.
Osceola faced less last time out. Got the job done by a head. 2 starts back, was beaten 3 3/4 in open ranks.
There is race number 5, and we're going to go right to Woodbine Mohawk Park, of course, because we've got a tremendous team. We got great people trackside as well. We're going to take it to Gabe Pruitt, their trackside at Woodbine.
Thanks, guys. It's a beautiful night here in Campbellville, Ontario. Gabe, plenty of stars on tap. Of course, the big one coming up at the end of the show, the North America Cup, where odds-on Mr. Mamba is going to face Bojangles yet again after he faced his first loss of his career last week.
That's quite the matchup. That's the main course tonight. We'll say race 11 here tonight, guys. But what a heck of an undercard here on a beautiful night. Packed house here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and just a really beautiful night here for live racing with the absolute superstars in the standardbred sport.
The wind is starting to die down as the sun starts to set. There's a big crowd on hand, Gabe. Like we had mentioned, a big card ahead of us as well, star-studded. We're going to start with this 5th race. It's an invitational open trot. Plenty of familiar faces. Lexus Cody coming back. French Wine was the Breeders' Crown champ just here back in October. You like the 4 in here. Itos Chronos, 7-2 on him. Marcus Melander trainee. We were talking a little bit before we went on air. He's kind of just got a mind of his own.
Yeah, he really does. A couple of starts. I think he's had alibis in both losses, though, Jess. He was used hard at the beginning of the race and got roughed up during the race. So I'm hoping a little smoother trip tonight. 3rd start back of the brand new season. So I think a lot of times it takes horses a couple of starts to get their footing underneath them. Gave him a slight edge, but this is a contentious group. Nearly $10 million in combined earnings here heading to the gate. A lot of early speed. I think it could be a shootout here going into the opening turn. We'll send it up to Chad Rosema, who'll have the call here of the free-for-all trot on North America Cup at Woodbine and Mohawk Park.
Double millionaires. We've got the fastest trotters on Canadian soil in Lexus Cody and Itos Chronos. Logan Park nearly sub 50 in his latest. They headline this group. French Wine, the Breeders' Crown champ, here as well. It's post time for the 5th. Here they come. Welcome to everybody tuning in on Fox Sports. We're set to go for our free-for-all trots. And they're off. And Logan Park trying to leave out of there from the 8 hole along with Gaines, Hanover, and Itos Chronos. Dunn's got him into the top 3 early. In behind that trio, French Wine looking for a seat. Lexus Cody along the pylons, 5th in front of Hasty Bid. Then Usain Hanover wide to the opening turn. Osceola, he's going to backpedal, and Sid the Kid is trailing. It is McNair and Logan Park at 2-1, leading up to the opening quarter in 26-4 in front of Gaines Hanover. Itos Chronos is trotting on 3rd, but angling out already. Here he comes. Itos Chronos swings to the outside and starts to rush up after the race favorite Logan Park. French Wine back in 4th. Lexus Cody is following 5th. Then it's Hasty Bid. Usain Hanover, Sid the Kid, and another length and a half to a trailing Osceola. It's Itos Chronos taking over, opening up a length and a half in front of Logan Park. On the move now, French Wine, he's first over. Lexus Cody had to go as well. He'll be second over. 55-1 to the half they are. To the inside is Gaines Hanover. Hasty Bid along the pylons. Outside of that one now, Usain Hanover. Last pair continue to be Sid the Kid and Osceola. 3/8 to go. It's Itos Chronos on top of length. French Wine on the outside, chipping away. He's up to second with Logan Park in behind the leader 3rd. And starting to swing wide, still under a strong hold. Jingra ready to cut Lexus Cody loose. 3/4 in 1:22-2. Off stride Logan Park down to the safety lane. Itos Chronos leads. Here comes Lexus Cody as French Wine tucks. Lexus Cody trotting up hard on the outside here. Itos Chronos has to answer. Lexus Cody though goes by and starts to draw clear in the final 16th. It's Lexus Cody back to Canada and back to the winner's circle. Lexus Cody in the free-for-all trot by about 3. Itos Chronos second. Up for 3rd was Gaines Hanover. Hasty Bid 4th. 150-4 for Lexus Cody.
Well, there you have it. Lexus Cody returns to the winner's circle game for the first time in 2026. He's back in Canada, and he's back at it.
He is indeed, Jess, the richest standardbred in North America during the 2025 season. He earned over $1.3 million. He won 11 out of 21. He had been 0 for 2 the first couple of tries this year, but this is a monster effort tonight as he just towers up off cover, coasts home, and wins easily. He's the fastest horse in the history of Canada, 149-1 by virtue of his Maple Leaf Trot win last year. Very decorated trotter here. How about this? He's based in the U.S. with the sport's all-time leading trader, Ron Burke. How about his breeder, though, Norm Dunstan, a small-time Ontario breeder right here near Woodbine Mohawk Park, 84 years old. He bred his last mare. It turned into Lexus Cody, and the earnings just continue to stack up. So a lot of home court representation here from his breeder, and a big fan group here will be trackside for the winner's presentation.
Dan Patch, Trotter of the Year, older Trotter of the Year, Lexus Cody, a game first over victory here. We'll send it back to the guys.
Thank you, Jessica Otten there with Gabe Pruitt, of course. They're going to be trackside throughout the evening for Woodbine Mohawk. And nice effort there from Lexus Cody.
Good to see him back. And, you know, last year it took him a few starts to get his legs under him, and he got it under him tonight. Sweet trip, no matter what, still powered away from this group under minimal urging. So he's back, and we'll see where he goes from here. It's good to see.
Lots going in and behind, but Lexus Cody was in front, and that's where you want to be. We're going to go to break, and we're going to talk about a man that they call King James up around those parts, but still looking for that really sought-after North America Cup. We'll talk plenty more here on America's Day at the Races. Welcome back to America's Day at the Races and taking a look at the two. There he is, Lexus Cody. Familiar place. He's going to be back in the winner's circle there at Woodbine Mohawk. And really nice performance and just opened up on the field late. And what do you think from this performance as we take a look at this stretch run here coming up in just a second here, Paul?
I thought that right now we have. There we go. Okay, there's Lexus Cody. I thought he ran exceptionally well tonight, actually, Chris, because I thought he sat a good trip. And the perfect thing that Yannick Gingras did was flush out the cover of French Wine in front of him. He gave French Wine every chance to get out before he would have to go first over. It worked out perfect. He got to sit behind French Wine, tip right off, and power away in the stretch with plenty of trot.
Yeah, and 5-2 kind of seems generous now.
Yeah, on a horse like
right?
Lexus Cody, because I don't know if you're going to see that later on down the line this year. And I think people, after the first 2 starts, may have had a question mark as to whether or not he was going to be able to get back to one of those performances. And like I said earlier, it took him a while last year to get to one of these performances. So very good to see, and he should be able to now build on that going forward.
Yeah, plenty more to come there. And of course, we're talking about the North America Cup. And before the North America Cup, to get in, you talk about the eliminations. We had 2 of them, and one was kind of formful, and the other one, bit of a surprise, but you talk about that first elim.
Well, Sweet Love and Lou, I think that was probably, when you look at the field as a whole, the weaker of the 2.
Okay.
But he still was able to get the job done and got it done well. And then you take a look at the second one, and odds on Mr. Mamba, who was having a monstrous season last year and then into this year running fast times. He took the long way around, which we'll show later on at some point, but he was still able to get up over Brandon Boulevard and Bojangles in what was the harder of the 2 elims for sure.
And what was pretty interesting was James McDonald. He had a big night, and he had an interesting decision coming into the North American Cup as well.
Yeah, he did, and I think at the end of the day, for someone like James, when you look at the horses that he has to choose from, I think it was obvious that he was going to choose odds on Mr. Mamba in the final.
Let's go to Jess Godden right now.
Thanks, guys. I have King James. You have 5 O'Brien Wards, being the leading driver here in Canada, and of course the 2-time World Driving Championship. You're still looking for your first North America Cup. Let's talk about last weekend first. You drove both elimination winners. We'll start with the one you didn't choose, Sweet Love and Lou. He's a nice colt. I think he was a bit underrated going into that race, and you've been with that guy from day one.
Yeah, it was a hard choice, Jess. It was I baby raced him, brought him along, and fell in love with him and loved him every start last year. Last year he was a little immature and a little hot, and they told me how good he was coming back, and I was really excited for this year. And then just brought him along nice off the pace trip, and then locked in. And then last week he popped first time I'd really pushed him, and he's coming into the race great. It's a shame not to be driving him.
Let's talk about the guy you did pick up, odds on Mr. Mamba. I know when I saw the draw come out, I said, oh, Dexter's going to have a hard choice to take. What were your thoughts when you saw the draw and Dexter had his choice of Brandon Boulevard and odds on Mr. Mamba?
Honestly, I didn't really think too much about it. I basically was like, oh, that sucks for Dex. You like to see them split up in the elim and then make a choice. But mostly because that drive was never on my radar. It wasn't like anything I thought I would ever pick up. So when they called and asked, I was more than happy. I'd heard all the hype about Mamba, and just happy to be along for the ride. And then last week he did his Mamba things.
This is your home track. What would it mean for you to pick up this North America Cup?
It would be amazing. A dream come true. This is I race every night here, and this is all we ever talk about. It's kind of our signature race, and I've had a few cracks at it and not a lot of luck yet, but hopefully it's all aligned for tonight.
Good luck.
Thanks, Jess.
We'll send it back to you guys.
James McDonald, you can obviously see he really wants to win that race this evening, and when you take a look at his record, his accolades, this has eluded him, and he had an interesting decision, and he chooses odds on Mr. Mamba.
It's amazing for someone who has won the caliber of races that he's won when you look at that. The Hamiltonian Oaks, the Meadowlands Pace, the Maple Leaf Trot. 2 times he's won the Pacing Derby. World Driving Championships, traveling the world, and the one race that eludes you is the biggest race that's in your backyard. And there's got to be a fire to get it. And when you sit down and you look on paper, odds on Mr. Mamba obviously would be the choice over Sweet Love and Lou. We'll see if it comes to that fruition on the track tonight. That's why we run the races. Hopefully he made the right choice to put himself in the best spot to finally snag the one race that he hasn't had yet.
And Bojangles, another name we haven't even really mentioned that might have something to say that too, huh?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Hoosier Park. And of course, they had a nice long shot there as it was Blessed beginning to get the job done going into the winner's circle right now. And like my track announcer Michael Chamberlain said, just gave him the slip kind of into that far turn, really opened up on the field and kind of caught Schnapps a little bit by surprise, I thought.
He did, and Schnapps showed a different dimension. You were on a 2-5 shot. You're revved up off the gate, and Schnapps went to the front here. There was no real excuse. Blessed beginning was able to clear, was able to drive away for Anthony Miller. And honestly, when you looked at this horse's last 2 races at this level, was beaten a length and a half, and all the way down on the page back in April, won. So you got a crazy price on a horse that figured in a spot like this.
There are the results there. A $29 winner in race number 7. We're going to take a look at race number 8 here in just a second. It is a 1 mile pace, and you see a field of 7 set to go postward as we get set for this 8th race. A nice pick 5 sequence there at Hoosier Park in this one. But anybody stand out besides the favorite right now, 5, Gina Romantica?
I like Gina Romantica. I'm just a fan of this horse. I didn't pick her, but I'm a fan of her for sure. I think the 4 is interesting.
All right, post-parade time. Here's the 1, Odds on Candy.
Non-threatening 5th in the last 2. Does draw inside, though. Probably keep this horse closer tonight early on.
Quite a few long shots towards the inside. We're going to take a look at the 2, Skyway Victress, in just a moment. Jordan Ross with the driving duties, 18-1.
The 2-back effort, that was a nice one for her. Last time out, though, just things didn't work out. She was very far back from that trailing position. It was tough.
Thunder Cash, 13-1.
So you're going to do like a Thundercats, like bring back
could have
to the
gone
old
so many different
cartoons,
ways,
right? Yeah, no early pace, and that's her biggest problem. She leaves herself too much to do, and she's 0 for 12, looking for her first career win.
Horse getting a lot of respect right now. That's the 4, Pondotype.
I like this horse. Don't hold that last one against her. She moved into the race outside, and then she just didn't go on. I think she's going to get a better setup tonight.
Yeah, currently you're taking a look at the 5 there, just leaving the paddock. That is Gina Romantica at even money.
Always liked this horse. I just thought that she was going to carry on and go on and be better than she has been. Just even money, a lot of seconds for her.
All right, and the 6 is going to be at 8-1, Willow LaRue.
Yeah, just got there last time at a lifetime mark. She should be in good position here. I like her to price.
The 7 is Miss Alexis as we wrap up the post parade.
0 for 4, non-threatening starts. This year's going to have to be better.
Let's go to Emily.
Thanks, guys. A nice field set to go postward here with this condition pace. This is Indiana Sire Stakes eligible, so just a step down from our Indiana Sire Stakes level. And as we said, a nice field set to go postward. Taking a lot of money is the 5, Gina Romantica. Like Paul said, I expected this filly to continue to take some steps forward. She maybe hasn't had that punch through mile, but she's really been knocking on the door. The Missy Essex barn currently batting at a 46% in the money percentage. She's one of our top trainers here on the grounds, and I think Gina Romantica is sitting on a big type of effort. She's got that late closing ability, and this is a good spot for her. I think she'll take her game to the next level in this particular start. We'll send it up to Michael Chamberlain for the call.
They are off. Good beginning for Willow LaRue. Kyle Husted putting Willow LaRue right out for the lead. Then it's Gina Romantica with Pondotype. Odds on Candy, 4th, 2 lengths behind that to Thunder Cash. Skyway Victress to her inside. And the early trailer is Miss Alexis. Moving on the turn, Willow LaRue up front. Willow LaRue, a length better than a pocketed Gina Romantica as they pass the quarter in 29 seconds. Moving next in 3rd is Pondotype. And then after that 4th, Odds on Candy. A good long distance back to the rest with Thunder Cash, Skyway Victress just dropping right out of it. Miss Alexis, they are now moving up the back stretch, and moving with the lead now is Gina Romantica. She has taken the lead from Willow LaRue. 3rd is Pondotype, then it's Odds on Candy as they hit the half in 58 seconds, a second successive 29-second quarter. And the 4 to 5 favorite Gina Romantica leading the way. Willow LaRue is right behind in 2nd, then Pondotype. Odds on Candy moves to the outside. Odds on Candy now advances up into 3rd and is coming up after the 2 leaders. Also with a nice move is Thunder Cash as she is trying to get up into contention. And then Miss Alexis has also elected to go wide. Skyway Victress, the distant trailer. 3/4 time, 1:26-1. 28-1 for the 3rd quarter. Gina Romantica is the one to get to. Willow LaRue. Odds on Candy, then Thunder Cash, and to the inside Pondotype. Gina Romantica, Willow LaRue has moved to the outside and is trying to move up at the leader. Gina Romantica trying to withstand a challenge from Willow LaRue in deep stretch. Gina Romantica, Willow LaRue, Gina Romantica by 3/4 of a length. Willow LaRue was game but second best, then Odds on Candy and Pondotype in 1:53-1.
5-6 your exacta there. And Paul, you were talking about Gina Romantica. You like a horse like this? Really showed heart down the lane.
Yeah, I was happy for her tonight that she got over a little bit of her second-itis and was able to get a win, too, as well, because the last few, she just hasn't gone on. Today she went on. She was in good position. So was Willow LaRue. As I said early on, I thought she was going to fall into a good trip, and she did in here at a big number. Just couldn't get by Gina Romantica late. So happy for Gina Romantica to get that win in this Sire Stakes eligible class.
Yeah, we saw that move there. It looked like Willow LaRue was ranging up. Couldn't get by. Gina Romantica, your winner. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with plenty more on America's Day at the Races.
Charlatan is the leading second crop sire by stakes winners, graded stakes winners, and graded stakes horses.
Charlatan, ultra impressive. It's a new day for a new king.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Sign up now and use promo code MATCH200 for a $200 new member bonus. You bet with Naira Bets. Tickets to a day at the track are on sale now. Reserve a table or secure seats for a historic summer at Saratoga Racecourse. Saratoga Summer begins with opening day on Friday, July 3rd and runs through Labor Day. Book now at naira.com/Saratoga.
A surging debut at 2, an international tour de force, an explosive winner of 2 sire-making Grade 1 races.
Raging Torrent running the race of his life, and Raging Torrent and Frankie Dettori cruise to victory in the Malibu. Raging Torrent's coming out party is in the Metropolitan Handicap.
Raging Torrent, the next wave in the Lane's End stallion-making tradition.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races as we get set for another big race there at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and looking forward to their 6th race. We got a 1-mile pace coming up and still getting closer and closer to all that big action. Nice pick 6 starts here as well. And taking a look at the field right now, a field of 10. And I think we're going trackside. Is that all right? All right, let's go to Gabe and Jess trackside right now for race 6.
Thanks, guys. Another good one coming up, an overnight event, Gabe. But we've got plenty of tickets and picks on tap for you guys throughout this evening. Good payouts, good guarantees is something always we like to see. I'll walk you through my ticket here first. It's going to be a mandatory payout pick 6 ticket, which there were a couple places where I thought you could single up a couple of horses. I'm going to throw in 2 horses in this opening leg, the 1 and the 8, Stonebridge Helios being my top choice in here. I've loved this guy when he first came to the States a couple of years ago. He's back in Canada, so I'll use 2 in there. Interesting with the scratch of Yotilli in race 7. It kind of changed the complexion of my tickets a bit. I'm going to use the 4 and the 8. Warwi Michelle, she's coming off of a 6 scratch. I'm going to throw her on my ticket as well. Bravo Angel, I think Jason Bartlett is the key with that gal. Race number 8, that's the open mare pace. The roses are red. Mickey and Minnie Louis Girl, I don't think he'd go any further than that. Race 9, I'm going to use 3 of them. That's the Gold Cup open pace. Lou Hill, Prince Hal Hanover, Irvin Hanover, 3 sharp horses. Race 10, Luadipa, that's my single, and to end it with that North America Cup, I'll use 3, 4, 5, and 10. Odds on Mr. Mamba, Sweet Love and Lou, Bojangles, and Brandon Boulevard.
Yeah, no, so your final boarding call here just to get involved as you see that the gate spring here. I'll make mine pretty simple. I've got bookend singles here. I think Stonebridge Helios, the best horse here, 4 to 5. And I'm going to single a couple of horses on the end of it. Luadipa, but I'm going to single odds on Mr. Mamba. I'm going to go fishing for some prices in the middle of this mandatory pick 6 sequence. Best of luck with your pick 6 plays. Here's a lot up and behind the gate for race number 6. We'll send it upstairs to Chad Rosenbaugh, who has a call.
Resume with Dexter Dunn in the bike is heavily favored at 4 to 5. It's post time for the 6th race. Here they come. Field picks up speed. They're at the start and away they go. They're off and pacing. Odds on Valhalla, chased out of there from the 6 hole along with Dublin Dasher. Chain Gang onto the scene as well, and Stonebridge Helios from the pole position gets away 4th. Looking to tuck 5th, that's Geordie in front of Waterloo. Then we're back to Pacino Hanover. Last 3 are Living the Beach Life, JMR Speakaway, and what you looking at. Everybody's got a seat now, single file into the opening bend. Dublin Dasher and Cullen leading the way. 26 and 2 the opening quarter. Odds on Valhalla in second with Chain Gang third. As they head to the backstretch, what'll Dunn do with Stonebridge Helios? He's on the move. And here he comes out of 4th and rushing up after the leader. Back in 5th is Geordie. 6th one is Waterloo. Continuing to be tracked by Pacino Hanover, then Living the Beach Life, JMR Speakaway, and what you looking at. Here comes Stonebridge Helios, 7-5 race favorite, takes over from Dublin Dasher, the 8-5 second choice. Odds on Valhalla now third as they're halfway home in 54-4. Chain Gang, the 4th one. Geordie continuing 5th as they head into the bend towards 5/8. Waterloo still 6th, then Pacino Hanover. Starting up from the back is JMR Speakaway, to the inside is Living the Beach Life. Trailing throughout's been what you looking at. Just over a quarter of a mile to go. Stonebridge Helios, the leader, just over a length in front of Dublin Dasher. Chain Gang's on the move, and he's up to 3rd in front of Geordie. Works with his cover to the inside 5th. Odds on Valhalla, 122 and 1 3/4. Stonebridge Helios, the one they've got to catch. He leads a length. Outside is Chain Gang. In behind Dublin Dasher. Now swinging wide is Geordie. Set down by Plomp between horses. Odds on Valhalla. Dunn calling on Stonebridge Helios. Geordie starts to close in the center. Dublin Dasher between. Still Stonebridge Helios digging in. And Stonebridge Helios will hold on by a length. Geordie second. Dublin Dasher third. 149-2.
A couple of levers to the middle of the gate gave Dexter let the dust settle before coming first over and clearing up the backside, and it was game over from there.
Yeah, it really was. You wondered if the pace scenario was going to catch up to him. Just a little bit of a quick toll there. 54-4 down to the half. 3/4, 22-1. But Dex had just enough here to hold on and get it done. Here's the slight favorite at 7-5. Stonebridge Helios going to kick off this pick six. That was a game effort at a runner-up finish from Majority. And Dublin Dasher, the second choice here, followed the favorite. Didn't have much punch down the lane. He's going to end up having to settle for third. But it's the favorite, guys, Stonebridge Helios, who takes the opening leg of tonight's pick six.
There's that man Dexter Dunn again, getting the job done. Stonebridge Helios at 7-5. It looked like the off price. The favorite gets it done.
Things just worked out better this week. I know the fractions were on the fast side, but they were not as fast than him getting jacked up like he did to the half last week, and I think that was the difference. As Jess said, Dexter let the dust settle, then came first over and was able to establish that lead and did it in a little slower time than last week and not being involved in that free-for-all, getting sucked up in the pace, and still had pace left at the end. So good effort, and everybody's ticket goes on.
Yeah, everybody's pick six ticket does continue and goes on. 1-5-3-4, the order of finish there at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and that was a tremendous finish there. Dexter Dunn, it's a good driver to follow there if you're going to be watching us throughout the evening if you want to hit some breaks. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to talk about Warwie Michelle, of course, as we've got so many heavy hitters, so many big names. We're going to talk about the Armbro Flight Final. We've got so much more here on FS2. Come on back. You can join us on America's Day at the Races. Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. It's winner's circle time, of course. Dexter Dunn, he knows right where it is, but Stonebridge Helios, the 7-year-old by Sunshine Beach, able to get the job done. Took some money off of that morning line. Favored at 7-5, gets it done.
Yeah, on paper, this race kind of ran between Stonebridge Helios and Dublin Dancer. This horse has always had back class and has been classy. Good to see a win because the wins haven't been that frequent between last season and this season, but in a race like this where it just worked out better from a pace scenario standpoint, tonight was his night, and glad to see him get a win.
Nice job there by the one Stonebridge Helios. Let's head out to Hoosier one more time. We got race number 9 coming up. It's a 1-mile pace, and the field coming onto the racetrack on a little tape delay here, so we're going to get this postward in just a moment as we take a look at a nice field here, a field of 10 getting set to go postward.
Yeah, I'm interested in the betting right now with the 6 taking quite a bit of money. We'll see if that changes as they get closer to the gate.
All right, we're going to take it a long shot here, and that's the one, Good Little Virgin.
Good name for a horse. Get faster with every start as well, too. Yeah, so we'll see what happens today from an inside post. It's been beaten quite a bit, but time-wise has gotten faster, and that's what you'd like to see.
All right, we'll take a look at the 2 here. Atlee Bender, 5-2.
Yeah, won both races as the heavy favorite each time. Should be in a good spot again this evening.
And the 3 is going to be 19-1, always about Drew.
Gonna have to show a little bit more pacing early on. Was pretty far back early last time out.
Here is the 4 coming up next. Hey Freaky.
Just 2 for 45 lifetime. That's this horse's biggest problem. Otherwise, this horse is fast enough to compete.
15-1 on the 5. That's always a fireball.
Just 1 for 26 lifetimes. Been soundly beaten in the last 2, although did show some pace early on in that race.
Currently favored right now. You're going to see what's a 2-yo.
No early pace in the last few starts, although I wonder tonight with the draw better, going to show some more early lick.
What it is, yo, by the way. Here's the 7 open splash, 26-1.
Is that what it is, yo?
Yeah.
0 for 6 lifetime. Going to have to turn things around pretty quick here.
The 8 at 7-1.
Yeah, this horse has had some problems, but it's taken money in 2 out of the 3 starts, so we'll see if they can get back on track tonight.
Big number here, 75-1 on the 9.
Showed some good early pace last time out before fading late.
And TJ's Pilot's going to be the 10 at 13-1.
Soundly beaten last time, but had trouble at the start of that race, kind of broken, and was on the outside as well. So draw a line through that. Better spot tonight, but a big price here.
Let's head out to Hoosier right now, and Emily.
But qualified third.
Interesting betting board, as you said, guys. Nice field set to go postward, and we're starting to see things a little closer to where I thought we would see them. Obviously, still plenty of time to come post time. 8-5 favoritism right now on the 2, and this colt has been so sharp for the Putnam Barn. 2 consecutive victories, 2 for 2. He's currently undefeated in 2 starts. He's by the great sire Poppy Rob Hanover. Not something we oftentimes see here in the state of Indiana, but Team Putnam, one of those great young horse condition trainers, and it looks like they've got a nice colt here. He's shown that winning ability, shown that he knows how to get the job done. You love to see a horse that can pace home, and he consistently has paced home in 27-2, 27-3. So I like what I've seen in his first 2 starts. In that last start, he was a winner by 3.5 lengths, so was completely under wraps. Faces a little different company tonight, but I think it is certainly his race to lose. Team Putnam, as I said, one of our top conditioners here. The barn's hitting at a 42% in the money. Draws an inside post. Atlee Bender already with a win on the program tonight, so obviously a lot to like. But as you said, there's some big odds to the outside. You were talking about what it is, yo. What it is, yo, is it. As you said, this one from the Michelle Finn barn. Interesting note here, guys. This horse, a $145,000 yearling purchase. Lightly raced as a 2-year-old. He's now had 2 starts here for Team Finn, and he's slowly coming along. He's the brother to some great Indiana Sire Stakes horses, so he's got the pedigree behind him. Just looks like it hasn't clicked. He hasn't firing on all cylinders. I think he's had some excuses in his last few starts. As we know, last time out, started from the 2nd tier. That's post-10 spot, a trailing starter here at Hoosier Park. And for a young horse, that can sometimes be tough to navigate. So I'm going to give him a mulligan there. The time before that, he paced home in 26-1. And again, I think this is, maybe just a late developer. And so if you're looking at the odds board, maybe shopping for a price, 2-1, maybe not all that great. But I like this horse. I think he's coming into good form here. John DeLong, our second leading driver here, and that certainly doesn't happen by accident. So there is some upside here too. What it is, yo. Again, a nice field, and when you get down to these young young horses, it can sometimes be anything goes. So a nice field to maybe take a swing if you've got a strong opinion on a horse. Like I said, I lean to Poppy Robazi from the Team Putnam Barn, 7-5, kind of where I thought we'd see him come post time. But I think What It Is Yo is a horse that has some upside potential. A similar story for the 7, Hope and Splash. Henry Graber Jr. currently batting a 305. He's another one of those top conditioners here. Jordan Ross gets aboard for the 4th consecutive time. And this is another one that maybe hasn't turned a lot of heads in his first few outs, but he's got some upside potential. He's by Summa Cum Laude here out of a Woodstock mare. So he's got an interesting pedigree for Indiana, but he's one of those horses that's really just getting rolling. 5 starts on the season, and as we know, we oftentimes talk about, we're going to talk about a little bit later, these stakes horses oftentimes take some start or two to really get back into good racing form. So this is a horse that I think has some upside potential at double-digit odds. So a nice field, as we talked about. Even money favoritism on my top choice, Poppy Robazi. I'll mention it one last time, though. If you're looking to take a swing, maybe take a look at the 6, What It Is Yo. And I'll send it back to you guys for the call of this 9th race at Hoosier.
Thank you, Emily. What it is, Paul? Who's your top pick?
Poppy Robazi for me, the 2. I just like what I've seen so far in the 2 career starts and has been able to sit nicely and pace on late in the mile. Hope and Splash interests me, the 7, though, just because I feel like last time out they finally showed some early pace with this horse up close and been getting beat less and less, even though he's beaten by 7. So as Emily said, with these younger horses, sometimes it takes a while for them to click, and it is true. Their mental game has to catch up to their physical game, so we'll see what happens in this spot.
Start of a pick 3 right here. Emily likes the 2. Paul likes the 2. 4-5 right now. We're going to find out what happens in today's 9th race. They're in Anderson, Indiana at Hoosier Park as track announcer Michael Chamberlain has the call.
4-5 favorite, Poppy Robazi. Horses are now in the stretch. Here they come. They are off. Poppy Robazi starts well, as does Hey Freaky, and Hey Freaky now gets the better of it early on. That puts Poppy Robazi second, then Good Little Virgin is third. After that, TJ's Pilot with Always About Drew. Always a Fireball comes next. What It Is Yo is to the inside of Hope and Splash. The last 2 are Little Andy Zetam and Dancin' on the Drive. Passing the quarter in 29-4. Hey Freaky is the leader. Poppy Robazi is next in second, and Good Little Virgin races third. 2.5 back to TJ's Pilot in the 4th spot. And then comes Always About Drew. Always a Fireball next. What It Is Yo is 7th. 8th is Hope and Splash. Then Little Andy Zetam and Dancin' on the Drive. Approaching the half-mile pole, Hey Freaky still a length. Poppy Robazi getting the pocket trip second. As they pass the half, 1 minute and 1/5. Moving up on the outside is Always a Fireball. Good Little Virgin is right to the inside of that. Here comes What It Is Yo, moving up second over. Fairly loose cover there, though. Then TJ's Pilot, also advancing wide, Hope and Splash. Then 3 lengths back to Always About Drew. Moving up outside that is Little Andy Zetam, and 3 more to Dancin' on the Drive. And going off stride was Little Andy Zetam coming to the top of the stretch. 3/4, 128-4. A 3rd quarter of 28-3. Hey Freaky still in front. Poppy Robazi angles out. Good Little Virgin trying to rally up the pylons. What It Is Yo on the outside. Between horses, Always a Fireball. Poppy Robazi now up to take the lead. Poppy Robazi in front in the final 100 yards. Hey Freaky, What It Is Yo trying to close in, but Poppy Robazi and Atlee Bender win it by 3. What It Is Yo was second. Hey Freaky, it's a photo for 4th with Good Little Virgin, Always a Fireball, and Hope and Splash. 156-1.
Atlee Bender gets the job done there with the 2, Poppy Robazi. Emily and Paul top pick the 2, and the price even floated up.
Yeah, 2-1 I think was a gift on this horse at the end of the day. All the money went on What It Is Yo late, and Poppy Robazi did the same thing that he's done. He's just sat behind whoever the leader is and came out in the stretch after bravening up and went on by. So 3 for 3 to start the career.
Nice job there. It's break time. We're going to talk about an all-stakes pick 5. So much wagering action and fun on the other side here on America's Day at the Races.
convincingly.
Seize the gray. He's going to seize the day in the Pennsylvania Derby.
Seize the gray is still there. Seize the gray wins the Preakness.
Get with the New York Bred program that supports farms across the state and puts more babies on the ground. The program that lets your New York bred race against other New York breds on the same tracks where Manor War won the Travers and Secretariat completed the Triple Crown in the Belmont Stakes, but at a beautiful new facility offering the new Empire Trillium Series. Get with a program that respects thoroughbreds from the foaling farm to the starting gate to the second career.
They come on for the finish in the Pilgrim Stakes. Annapolis by a head.
It is Annapolis in front. It is Annapolis to win the Coolmore Turf Mile.
Gather your group and head to Saratoga Racecourse this summer. Enjoy a private suite in the 1863 Club or take advantage of flexible seating options in the Trackside Rail Restaurant. Head down the stretch to the Casamigos Spa Verandas for casual gatherings of up to 50 guests, or bask in the view of the historic paddock from the Paddock Suite and nearby Surfside Party Deck. The Mia Netto Easy Goer features world-class Prosecco with sparkling views of the backyard. Book your group outing today at NYRA.com/groups.
Every 2-year-old champion has precocity, but only one can be called fierce.
Fierceness.
Brilliant at 2.
A powerhouse win.
Dominant at 3.
Fierceness is putting on a show in Hallandale today. Fierceness to win the Travers.
Tenacious at 4.
Fierceness has won the Pacific Classic.
All the makings of a champion. Fierceness. New to Coolmore America.
Welcome back to our New York studio here and getting ready for the Armborough Flight Final. And when you have a race named after you, why not show a highlight? 1966, how about that international trot?
How cool is that when you go back and watch and you just take a look at the way the driving styles were, the way the sulkies were. It was such a cool horse, man, and just love that. Look at the winner's circle, too. I mean, he knows he won. And come on, how hot is it that you get your own stamp?
You're pretty big time when you get a stamp there. In 1999, a commemorative Canadian Post stamp. And yeah, when you've made it on the stamp, you're a big deal.
Stamps and bobbleheads, right? I think like those are the two big deals.
Really?
Wouldn't you think so?
Hand in hand, stamps and bobbleheads?
Would you what? Do you have a bobblehead?
Not
you
sure.
are
I
a big-time track announcer. You should.
Just in general or an actual bobblehead? Anyway,
No.
we got $215,000 here coming up in the purse. It's a 1-mile trot named for Armborough Flight. The final, let's talk about a post parade. Here's the one, Stormont Beautiful.
I like her tonight. I think she's cycling up to one of her best starts, and she's been stopping the clock faster and faster, and her last few starts drawn well inside tonight to get a big win here in the Armborough Flight.
Yeah, 2-1 on the inside there, getting plenty of respect as we are going to be taking a look at the 2 in just a moment. And that is going to be Jody Jamieson with the driving duties, 15-1 a price, and we're going to see him come up here in just a second, but Monalishi.
I have a soft spot for Monalishi. I like Monalishi, and this horse can be coming from off the pace. And here I know is 0 for 3 this year, but has some big wins in the past. Banked over $430,000 last year as well.
Big long shot here, 34-1, Cadiddle.
Cadiddle's faced much lighter. Be facing a much tougher group tonight, so a tougher task at hand.
8-5 right now. Here is the 4, and that's going to be Warwi Michelle.
I wonder how tight Warwi Michelle is going to be first start of the year, but she won the Breeders' Crown last year on this track last fall, so we'll see. She was scratched last week, so that might be a little bit tough to get her back to top form right here.
All right, here is the 5 here at a big number, 37-1.
Here's a horse, too, that's interesting to me. Is just 0 for 11 over last season and this season. You'd think that this horse would have won another race or two along the way, just haven't.
Pretty big scratch we didn't talk about much is the 6 in Yo Tilly, but here is the 7 real quick at 25-1 Dial Square.
It makes a difference. This horse was placed 4th last time, was beaten, though, 9 lengths in the Miss Versatility.
All right, we're going to take a look at the 8 next, and that's going to be Bravo Angel.
Should be sharp in here, should be forward. It does make her dangerous. She's already got 4 wins this year. The second last time out, I mean, still was a good effort for her.
Here is Dexter Dunn, right? The 9, that's going to be Bourbonista at 21.
Bourbonistas run well this year. 4 out of 5 in the money. This is a little bit tougher assignment, though, for her against this kind of class.
Champagne Problems is going to be the 10 at 36-1.
It's one for her last 14, but she's got 6 seconds, and she banked over $200,000 last year for Nancy Tactor. Good horse when she's on her game.
Yannick Gingras, Ron Burke, they're teaming up here towards the outside. The 11 is taking respect at 5-1, now 9-2. That's Miracle Maven.
You know, I didn't use this horse in my pick 6 or my pick 5, but this horse scares me because when you pick the races apart for this horse did beat Conversano, who we know is a very good horse, and just missed to Bravo Angel, who is another horse that's really good. So second tier probably hurts this horse a little bit, but at 9-2, this horse can make a lot of noise if she's right.
Let's go to Gabe Pruitt right now.
Thanks so much, guys. And that's Rod standing by here with the sports all-time leading trader, Ron Burke. And Roddy, first, already a win of the cards tonight. The first race we had on the broadcast, Lexus Cody picked up his first win of the year. Of course, the leading money earner in the sport last year. I know you're happy to see him get his first win of the season.
Yeah, no, I thought he was good coming into it, and so I, liked the result of what I kind of expected him to. So hopefully I'll be right with the rest of these.
Yeah, that's, again, big night tonight. Lua Deepa and the Fan Hanover going to be a heavy favorite there. She comes off a vicious win last week in her elimination.
Yeah, we got to match up with Perfect BG for the first time, and there's a couple other really top fillies in there. But, I wouldn't trade my filly for anybody. I think she's the best filly I've ever trained.
And the signature race tonight, of course, the Pepsi North America Cup. Last year, you won it with Blueprint. You won the race a couple of times. You've had a year now to reflect on that. How special of a win was that for a homebred like Blueprint?
I said it was as happy as I've been in years. Like, I was so excited. I remember thinking, if somebody bumps me, I'm just going to punch him. Like, I was just so pumped up. Like, it's the best feeling in the world. It was almost a Little Brown Jug-like.
And that was a heck of a race down the lane last year.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it. Like, it was one of the most thrilling races I've seen, and especially for ours and a homebred and the whole story. Like, it was really cool.
A little bit different tonight. You've got a couple of long shots there. Melillo and Lindy's Dragonwater flying a little bit under the radar.
Yeah, and I still got Al Poppy, too. And I don't know. I think, two of them have every right to be competitive. They were second and third in the Breeder Crown here last year. I think they have good chances. The thing is, there's 10 of us that think we can win now this week, and that's going to make a great race because everybody's going to leave it out on the track this week. And I think that makes what racing the best.
$1 million on the line. It's a feature on the broadcast here tonight, that Pepsi North America Cup. We'll send it back to you guys.
Getting ready for that 7th race. And, Paul, we've got an all-stakes pick 5 coming up. Plenty of wagering opportunities. Talk about your ticket.
Wide open for me here in this race, going 5 deep, 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. The next race, going to take a look at Louis Girl, the last Martini, and Twin B Joe Fresh. I'm single to Irvin Hanover in race number 9 in the Mohawk Gold Cup. I just think he's too good for that group based off of last week. Fan Hanover, 2-horse race for me, Lua Deepa and Be Perfect BG. And when we get to the Pepsi North America Cup, odds on Mr. Mamba, Bojangles, Al Poppy, my price play in there. Gabe and Jess, what do you think? We got a shot tonight at this?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think it's going to be a good all-stakes pick 5. Gabe, real quick here for the Armbro flight. I think the complexion of the race changes with the scratch of Yotilli.
Yeah, and so Yotilli out makes a huge difference, Jess. The other thing is, I'm going to take a stand against the favorite, War Wee Michelle. She's 7-5 on the board right now. She has not raced since October of last year. She was scratched sick, went in to go a couple of weeks back. I just have my concerns with that long layoff here. We're always looking for reasons to beat favorites. I'm going to take a swing against one here in War Wee Michelle. I went to the 8 Bravo Angel here. I think she's going to be aggressive off the wings, up there at 4-1 on the board right now as we get set to kick off this all-stakes pick 5 with a $100,000 guaranteed pool. We'll send it upstairs where Chad Rosema will have the call of the Armbro Flight Final.
Free to follow anyone she wants, however. 6-5 favoritism to War Wee Michelle, one of the co-track record holders here after her 150-2 Breeders' Crown triumph last fall. It's post time for race 7. Trotty mares for the Grade 2 Armbro Flight Final are all lined up. Here they come. And there they go. They're off and trotting with Nelson Bright Eagle, leaving out of there alertly down the center. And from the outside, put into play early Champagne Problems and Bourbonista. So from post 10 and 9, they're going to drive out for the early lead to the first turn as Champagne Problems trying to cross over in front of Bourbonista. Nelson Bright Eagle gets away third in front of Warwi Michelle. From the second tier, Miracle Maven followed the favorite and has got a seat fifth in front of Stormont Beautiful. Parked to the outsides, Bravo Angel. Jameson lost Monalishi. She's off stride in the back. We see Dial Square ahead of Cadiddle. 26-1 opening quarter. Champagne Problems the leader. Bourbonista the pocket rider. Nelson Bright Eagles third. And then it's Warwi Michelle and Miracle Maven. To the inside is Stormont Beautiful. Then to the outside, Bravo Angel's going to get a couple in front of her now as Warwi Michelle's first up for Svanstead out of fourth. Second over trip being worked out here by Gingras and Miracle Maven. So Bartlett third over with Bravo Angel. Inside locked up, Stormont Beautiful and Cadiddle. Dial Square to the outside and further back, Monalishi 55 was the half. Champagne Problems still the leader at a 94-1 price in front of Bourbonista. Warwi Michelle getting closer now on the outside, a length away from Champagne Problems. And second over, perfectly positioned, is Miracle Maven. And she's already starting to swing wide with Bravo Angel on her back. Then getting off of the pylons. Dunn's full of trot with Bourbonista 123 and 2 3/4. Warwi Michelle takes over. Bourbonista slides down to the inside. Miracle Maven called on for more in the center. Wide of that one is Bravo Angel and Dial Square trying to close from the back, but Bourbonista and Dunn up the inside and now cruising by 3 and 4. Bourbonista at 43-1 in an Armbro flight romp. It is Bourbonista over Bravo Angel and Miracle Maven in 150 and 4.
The number
Randy,
9 in Bourbonista, and at 43-1, you just got Dexter Dunn at a massive number.
I mean, this was a smart heads-up ride by Dex. I mean, there was plenty of room on the inside as they turned for home, and he just went up in there, and boy, did she just trot away from this field and just opened up late. Nothing to be said. Bravo Angel trotted on to be second with a wide rally late, but no doubt about your winner in this spot. Marcus Melander strikes at a huge number. You don't get Dex at this number that much.
Yeah, and Marcus Melander, we've seen him get a lot of work done throughout our
yeah.
seasons, throughout our shows here on FS2. And we're going to probably get a chance to talk to him maybe throughout the evening, or definitely Dexter Dunn. We'll see what happens. You need to come on back. We just had a huge long shot. 43-1. Dexter Dunn. Come on back. America's Day at the Races. Back here on FS2, it's America's Day at the Races, headed out to Hoosier Park. It's their 10th race coming up, a 1 mile pace. Nice person there too, well over $94,000. Taking a look at 7 horses set to go postward here, and we're getting set for that post parade, and we're going to find out if you're going to go with the long shot or favorite. I'm wondering.
You'll find out.
We'll find out. Here's the 1, Clorox Queen.
Adds pace early on to this mile for sure. Drawn perfectly to do so and stay close tonight.
Kyle Wilfong is going to have the driving duties here. The 2, A Treacherous Woman, 15-1.
Yeah, last time showed pace early on, was able to sustain that to the wire, came home in 26-4.
John DeLong has got the 3 at 9-5. Woof.
My top pick. I'm not sure this horse was even cranked up last time and still got the job done. Banked a lot of money last year. One of my favorites, has already won plenty of these Sire Stakes races before.
I should have trusted myself. I knew you were going to take Woman. Here's the $4 million image.
Got a lot of work to do to catch up to some of the bigger names in this spot. Beaten 5 last time out by Whoomp.
And Atlee Bender just got the victory. Here is the 5, and It's My Story.
Was the closest last time to Whoomp. Finished second. Beaten 3. Still got blown out of the water in that spot.
26-1 keeps Miss Dixie here at a big number.
She's done okay this year. She's got 5/3 from 9 starts, a couple of wins as well. She's going to have to get a little bit faster, I think, to compete with the 3 and the 7, though.
It might be the top contender against your top pick. The 3 there is the 7, some more blue.
Man, she turned it up last time. 25-3, came home in 150. And by the way, she's only lost 3 times in her career. All 3 times she lost to Whoomp last year.
Nice little tidbit there. That's going to be race number 10. We'll head back to Hoosier, but we're going to talk about Woodbine Mohawk right now, and they had their race, their 7th race, and they got an inquiry right now. It is 9-8-11-4. What do we see here with the 8 Bravo Angel?
I am watching her on the outside. I want to see if she had any braking violations. Meanwhile, up the inside, there's the winner with Dexter Dunn. But watching her on the outside, don't see anything yet. Waiting to see. Oh, they're showing it on their in-house feed.
Okay.
It's her going into the first turn. She broke stride. She was 3 wide, and she broke stride for a little bit. Take a look right there on your screen. You'll see her on the outside in the gray. You're going to see her kind of lose her stride a little bit, and she does break stride there. So we're going to find out what the judges think about that situation.
Okay.
She was also 3 wide in that spot.
She was about 6th at that time,
yeah,
right?
and she was also wide too, but she did break, so we'll see what they decide there.
All right, we're going to find out the result of that, but let's go back out to Hoosier with Emily with more.
Forever.
Race on the program. That's a $95,000 Indiana Sire Stakes for 3-year-old pacing fillies. This is round number 2 for those pacing fillies, and we've got a great group set to go postward. We've got a great matchup as well. We've got the 2025 reigning filly of the year in Whoomp. She was the Indiana Sire Stakes champion and Indiana's 2-year-old pacing filly of the year. We are going to match her up with her number 1 rival, the first time they have matched up this season, and that's some more blue from the Irv Miller barn. This 3-year-old filly by Rockin' Image. Already $311,000 on her card. Look like they're making some adjustments here. And I had a chance to talk to Marcus Miller a little before the races, and he said this is just one of those fillies that from the word go, she has been absolutely incredible. One of those fillies that as soon as you sat behind her, you kind of knew you had something special. And interestingly enough, she's got a very formidable rival in Whoomp. But some more blue, one of those fillies from the top conditioners, and she's slightly favored right now at 3-5. She brings an incredible racing ability. She's shown the ability to race off the pace. I asked Marcus, looks like she likes to be forwardly placed. Is that by design or just kind of how the race works out? And he said she's an ultimate professional. She can step out of there when she needs to, but she can also be placed in a pocket. So she's shown that she's got the ability, and she's also shown that she's got the manners as well. She finished second to Whoomp in that $250,000 final last year. As Paul said, one of only 3 losses last year for this filly. And I thought it was an interesting stat. This filly, only 1 lifetime start where she has not paced home in 27 speed. We oftentimes talk about Hoosier. You need that late closing ability in the long quarter-mile stretch, and that's exactly what she has. The thing I think that's going to be interesting here, guys, is the post position draw. You've got some more blue to the outside, and as I said, you've got the filly Whoomp to her inside. And she just making her 2nd start of the season for Team Welch. But Roger Welch, one of the leading conditioners in the state, continues to produce Indiana Sire Stakes champions year in and year out. For the season, he's batting at a 45% win clip, 73% in the money. So this is one of our top barns, and this is obviously a top filly. She's a sister. She's not only an Indiana Sire Stakes champion herself, she's a sister to an Indiana Sire Stakes champion as well. And she draws to the inside of her top competitor here in some more blue. So I think that's that's going to make things interesting. And John DeLong spoke to him, and he's another one. He said her pedigree, aside from her pedigree being maybe the most attractive thing about her, it's her want to. And she's one of those fillies that she loves to track horses down, and she loves to race. She just simply loves her job. So she draws to the inside, and John thought it was going to be kind of interesting how things shake out here. Last week, she was much the best. She was put on the front and showed that she was much the best. Tonight, as we said, her competitor to the outside. So will be interesting to see how things shake out. Right now, the love going to Some More Blue to the outside at 3-5. The other one that I think will give a little bit of run for their money in here, that's the one Clorox Queen from the Ron Burke barn. Gabe was talking to Ron Burke a little bit earlier, and I had a chance to talk to his second trainer, Adam Rucker, and he said Trace Tetrick and Clorox Queen were made for each other. They're both aggressive. They both love to be forwardly placed, and he said he thinks Trace is a perfect fit for her, and this is a perfect spot for her. She's really coming into this race where Whoomp and some of these other fillies, just a few starts. She's got 9 starts on the season, 4 times already a winner, and she draws to the inside for one of the top outfits here at Hoosier Park. And as Gabe said a little earlier, the top outfit in the country. She's 7-1. Our leading driver, Trace Tetrick, aboard. Just as we saw Dexter Dunn, 43-1. You don't often see Trace Tetrick at Hoosier Park at 7-1, so you're getting a price here on a Clorox Queen. My top choice, I'm going to stick with Some More Blue. She's got to start on Whoop, but a great matchup set to go postward. We'll send it back to you guys.
They did make a change at Woodbine Mohawk Park. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We're right on post parade here, or post time, I should say, at Hoosier. You like the 3 Whoop. That's still going to be your top selection, Paul?
Whoop's my girl. I'm going to stick with Whoop, and I'm going to hope that she gets the better tonight of Some More Blue, and she finds herself a nice spot early on and gets the trip.
All right. Paul was looking at that replay. He was taking a look at that inquiry. We're going to talk about that plenty there from the Armbro flight final. But right now, it is post time. Race number 10. It's Harris Hoosier Park, and its track announcer, Michael Chamberlain, with the field of 7. A 1-mile pace.
So there's a restroom back there?
Yeah.
Want to hit that emergency scenario?
They are off. Some More Blue starts well from the outside. Clorox Queen at the inside, and Whoop is right there too. Treacherous Woman is racing third now as Some More Blue elects to tuck in fourth. Fifth is $1 Million Image, then It's My Story, and a good distance back to Keeps Miss Dixie, who is the trailer. As they move around the turn, it is Whoop who gets the early lead. They pass the quarter-mile mark in 27-4. Clorox Queen in the pocket second, and then after that is Treacherous Woman. Some More Blue is racing fourth with $1 Million Image, and then It's My Story, and a long, long way back to Keeps Miss Dixie after that pre-start break. Midway up the back stretch, Whoop is in front, still has it a length over Clorox Queen, trying to apply pressure from second. Then it's Treacherous Woman, Some More Blue, right there fourth, about 4 lengths away from the front end. Then it's $1 Million Image, and It's My Story, the half mile up, 56-4, second quarter of 29 seconds. Whoop by a length, Clorox Queen. Treacherous Woman, Some More Blue with $1 Million Image, and It's My Story. Now Some More Blue moves out from fourth and is starting to move up. Here comes Some More Blue, the 3-5 favorite, trying to get after the top 2. Whoop leading Clorox Queen by a length. Some More Blue looms on the outside third with Treacherous Woman. 3/4 on the board in 1:24-4. 28 seconds for that third quarter. Whoop with the lead. Treacherous Woman trying to drop down to the inside. Clorox Queen trying to find some room. Some More Blue is closing down the outside. Whoop and Some More Blue, the top 2. Then Clorox Queen. It's Whoop still in front. Some More Blue. Whoop in front. Some More Blue cannot get to her. Whoop wins. Some More Blue, then Clorox Queen and $1 Million Image in 1:50-4.
Whoop does it once again, and Some More Blue gave everything Whoop can handle, but holds her off in the late stages.
Tied her lifetime mark with that, too. And when nobody really went to the top, John DeLong said, I'm going, and put Whoop right on the chooch in front, and that was the end of the story. And her class took over there, and she held off Some More Blue, who has 4 losses to her career. All 4 have been to Whoop.
Won't getting the job done there. 3-year-old filly, like you said, by Rocket Image. John DeLong with the driving duties and a big victory. A star-studded matchup's going to be coming up, and the roses are red as we continue our fast-paced action here tonight on America's Day of the Races.
Perennial leading New York sire Central Banker, sire of a $325,000 two-year-old colt in 2026, and the leading New York sire of stakes horses again, including Hot Currency.
Hot Currency up by 5 widening lengths, approaching that final furlong. No catching a geared down, dominant winner of the 4-star Crook. Give it to Hot Currency.
Central Banker, standing for $7,500 at McMahon of Saratoga Thoroughbreds.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Sign up now and use promo code MATCH200 for a $200 new member bonus. You bet with Naira Bets. Announcing the Empire Trillium Series, a multi-year $3.2 million 14-race program at the brand new Belmont Park and Woodbine Racetrack, restricted to New York or Canadian foaled horses. This new event kicks off the day after Christmas with 4 two-year-old stakes races on Belmont's new Tapeta surface and continues all spring and summer through late July at Woodbine. The Empire Trillium Series. To learn more and enroll either New York or Canadian breds, go to NYRA.com/EMPTRI.
What if you didn't just watch horse racing, but own the moment? With Bond Racing Stable, you can experience the thrill of ownership without the full cost or commitment. It's easy in a racing partnership with Bond Racing Stable. They do all the work while you get access to the backstretch, morning workouts, the paddock, and the winner's circle. Whether you're new to racing or a lifelong fan, Bond Racing Stable makes it easy to get in the game. Don't just bet on the race, get in the winner's circle. Contact Bond Racing Stable and ask about a racing partnership today.
Moving up on the cover outside to 4th now comes Better Joy, and in at the rail 5th, Tequila Monday. 6th outside is You Are My Candy Girl. They're at 3/4 in 1:22 and 2, and they're into the stretch after that 27 and 3. 3rd quarter, Sharton by 2 steps away from Caviar Ally, who's back into 2nd but fully extended. Now up off cover comes Better Joy from the backfield, and onto the scene is You Are My Candy Girl on the far outside, scooting up the rail. Tequila Monday. Sharton coming into the final 16th, still clear by 2. And the roses are red. Stakes final goes to Sharton.
A mare for the ages indeed. Sharton there in the roses are red. Got to go a few years back, but a 2025 Hall of Fame inductee. Impressive horse.
Well deserved too. She was the first older female pacer that got named Horse of the Year here in the U.S. too. So big achievement for her, and she was just a star on track. Period. There was no question about it.
You see all the accolades there for Sharton, mare for the ages. As I said, this upcoming race will be named just for her. We got a post parade coming up, race number 8, as we just spoke about. Scratch the one, have the one in there. Skywalker C is going to be a big number at 27-1 right now. As we get ready there at Woodbine Mohawk Park for the Rose Red Final.
And should be in this spot too. She's been soundly beaten in her last 2 against competition like this and even lesser. 2 starts back, so she'd have to have a really big reversal of form here. But we saw it last race where a horse suddenly peaked up for the Melander barn and got the job done at a big number. So why not her, right?
Yeah, I would say 8-5 right now. We're going to take a look at the 2 in just a moment. That's going to be James McDonald driving.
And Mickey Minnie had a great season last year too. Banked $1.5 million and came back this year so far. Did have a 3rd and then came back with a win last time out in the Olymp. So I think all systems are go to get her back to where she needs to be. I guess, we'll see if her mind's on business tonight. And she's a win candidate for sure in here, no doubt.
Yeah, she's at the favoritism right now. 8-5 here for tonight's 8th race. And the 3 is going to be Louise Girl.
I liked her last week, but she made multiple moves, and she still was able to hang on against the closers. Maybe she gets a little bit easier race flow tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see how she matches up with the 2 and the 9.
All right, we're going to see some prices here in the middle. It's the 4, Grit and Grace.
Grit and Grace showed a little bit of early pace last time out. So that second ended up getting beat 3.5 fifth at the end of the day against 3.
All right, the 5 at 12-1.
Not a bad horse. Comes late in the mile, and we've seen this horse do a lot last year, too. Banked $850,000 with 7 wins.
The 6 is going to be a 14-1, the last Martini.
I like this horse at a price, too. This horse dead heated with Mickey and Minnie last year in the Breeders' Crown, if you remember, too. And she raced well in the Elim last week, so it's a good number tonight.
32-1. Talk Kearney to me.
I wouldn't be shocked if they came out pacing hard with her tonight because it's her best shot that she has at winning. So look for her early in the mile if she's got anything.
Always Dawn at 24-1.
Look for her late in the mile if she's got anything as well in the outer racer flow. But she's going to have a tough time tonight, I think, against this competition altogether.
Are we just following Dexter Dunn right now? Here is the 9. Twinbee Joe Fresh.
It's interesting because she probably wasn't ready last week, and she probably needed that start. We're going to find out, though, tonight if she does. There's a camp of people, though, that think she might be done. I'm not one of those. We'll see.
The 10 to the outside at 36-1.
Absolution. Third last week, beaten 2 against Mickey and Minnie. Should be rolling late at a price, if at all.
Scratch the 11, and let's go out to Woodbine Mohawk right now. Jess with more.
Thanks, guys. I have trainer Per Engblom, who's going to send out Louise Girl here in the Roses Are Red final. First and foremost, Per, she's really stepped up and handled taking on the best of the best pretty professionally.
Yeah, she's been great. We didn't really know what we had when she came over here, but she's proven herself to be really, really nice.
What were your thoughts on last week's elimination? A bit roughed up, but I thought she handled it well.
Yeah, she raced amazing. I was really impressed that she held on because I didn't expect that for that kind of trip.
She was really good at Yonkers on a small track. She come here, her speed kind of transferred here. What's her best attribute?
Yeah, but that's that. She's quick. She's got that turn of foot that's really, really good. So hopefully can get a trip and use it a little bit tonight.
Coming up in the Gold Cup for those older pacers, Lou Hill and Coach's Corner. We'll start with Lou Hill. He's another one who's been on quite the roll so far this season. He's coming off a good win in the Camelot Classic. How do you feel about him coming into tonight?
Yeah, very sharp. He's really on his toes, and I think that he's going to step up in this class. I don't know if it's tonight or a little bit later on in the season, but he's good enough to be a player in this group.
In Coach's Corners, he always just shows up as well.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's been good for a couple of years now, and he keep racing good all the time.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jess. They're trackside getting ready for the Roses Are Red final. And more thoughts for you. I mean, your top selections, Paul, or some tickets that you may be putting together. I mean, what's interesting coming into this one?
Well, we're going to start a $5 stakes pick 3 here that pairs up this race along with the Fan Hanover and also the North America Cup. So for me, starting out in here, I'm only going to use 3 in here. I'm totally throwing out Mickey and Minnie, by the way. So we're going to go with the 3 in here, Louise Girl. We're going to use the 6, the Last Martini at a price. Also the 9, Twinbee Joe Fresh, who I think is going to be tighter in the Fan Hanover. Going to use just the 2 logical horses, Luadipa and Be Perfect BG. I think that's going to be a very nice race, a very nice throwdown. And Bojangles, it's Bojangles redemption night for me. I know I've given him a hard time before on the show, but he had to lose a race sometime. It happened. I think Bob McClure should give one of those Bob McClure take no prisoners, just get out of there, fast drive, and bottom out the field in there. So 3-6-9 here, 3-5 race 10. And in race 11, the 5, it's a $30 play because it's a $5 base bet.
Let's go back to Jess and Gabe.
It's definitely going to be a good one here, Gabe. The Roses Are Red final. We have Louise Girl and Mickey and Minnie eliminations winners to the inside of the gate. But Twinbee Joe Fresh is a bit of a wild card in here.
She really is. Post 9, she's going to have to overcome Jess, of course, Horse of the Year in the sport a couple of years back. Just did not fire her best ever during last week's elimination. Slides into the final here with a 4th place finish. But she's really the true wild card of the race. You know, what is she going to do? Is she going to take a step forward here tonight? That's the key question. Right now, both of those elimination winners you alluded to, Mickey and Minnie, Louise Girl, a small small little mare from post 3. She's up there 2-1 right now, both up there as a couple of favorites. I do want to mention I like a bit of a long shot here, Jess, to be close or possibly pull off an upset. That's a 6th to last Martini. I see they have pulled the shoes tonight. They're racing her barefoot. They did the same thing last fall here, and she was a dead heat winner in the Breeders' Crown at a big price. So she's back up there at a big price tonight. I would not overlook the 6 here to get somewhere in the mix.
We'll send it up to Chad Rosema for the call of the Roses Are Red final.
Mickey and Minnie, an elimination winner last week. James McDonald back aboard is 8-5, slightly favored over Louise Girl, a first over a limb winner herself, and Twinbee Joe Fresh, winner of this event in the past 2 years, on the outside at 3-1. They're lined up now. Race number 8, here they come. At the start, and they're off in the Roses Are Red final. The last Martini leaving out of there. Sharply to the inside, though, both Skywalker C and Grit and Grace. So McNair's going to try to take a tuck third with the last Martini, Mickey and Minnie. To the inside 4th. Outside of that one, parked to the opening turn is done with Twinbee Joe Fresh. And then we go back to Louise Girl. Settling behind her is Rodeo Drive Dale, Tuck Curdy to Me, Always Dawn, and early trailer Absolution. Skywalker C and Todd McCarthy leading the way into the backstretch after a 26 flat opening quarter. Grit and Grace follows her in the pocket. Another 2 lengths to the last Martini 3rd. Twinbee Joe Fresh, she took a seat in 4th in front of Mickey and Minnie. And then it's Louise Girl to the inside. Tuck Curdy to Me. Rodeo Drive Dale swings to the outside from the back. She'll be 4th over as Dunn's now first up with Twinbee Joe Fresh. Mickey and Minnie rides her cover 2nd over. Then Louise Girl 4th over Rodeo Drive Dale. Always Dawn to the inside. Absolution still trails halfway home in 54-1. Skywalker C still the leader. Grit and Grace in behind her. Twinbee Joe Fresh inching closer, length and a half away. A Skywalker C lets it out a bit here, heading to the final turn. 2nd over, Mickey and Minnie ready to pounce to the inside. 5th, the last Martini. Then Louise Girl set to swing wide for Bartlett. Rodeo Drive Dale following her 121 and 1 3/4. And they turn for home. And the Roses Are Red. And it's Skywalker C with the lead. But they're coming after her now. Here off cover is Mickey and Minnie. And Mickey and Minnie explodes here. Now Louise Girl closing at her. And McNair dives to the inside with the last Martini. Here's Mickey and Minnie. The last Martini renewing their rivalry. But Mickey and Minnie will drive on to the win. It's Mickey and Minnie and the Roses Are Red over the last Martini. Louise Girl and Tuck Curdy to Me in 1:48 and 1.
Trainer Chris Ryder and James McDonald teaming up. Mickey and Minnie holds off all charges.
Sometimes you try and beat the favorite and it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. This one didn't work for me. She ran well. She got a nice 2nd over trip in this spot, and she was able to hold off a diving inside the last Martini, who got picked on the inside behind a couple of long shots, but had her chance in the stretch to get by. Louise Girl just was not good enough, being 3rd over in the flow. But Mickey and Minnie back to her winning ways. The elimination was no fluke. She gets on the board here with a big stakes win here in this spot, and Twinbee Joe Fresh just wasn't good enough.
Let's go to Jess.
Thanks, guys. I have winning trainer Chris Ryder. Chris, of course, Twinbee Joe Fresh first over. Mickey and Minnie, she got to toe into the race. Your thoughts on her performance tonight?
Oh, terrific. She's just so solid and wins so many races and never goes bad race. And it was very exciting. Very proud of her, yeah.
She took on the older horses at the end of the year last year. So when she stepped up to this year taking on the older horses, what were your thoughts? How did she come back from 3 to 4?
Honestly, I've been pretty confident with her all winter training down because she's just been so well. And, you only know so much until you race. But here we are. So it's proven us all right. The good horses do that.
Nice job.
Thank you. Great.
There you have it. Chris Ryder. He's going to team up with James McDonald in the Roses Are Red final with Mickey and Minnie. And a nice performance there. 1:48 and 1. Back to you guys.
James McDonald got a chance to know Mickey and Minnie last time out, and maybe this is something we're seeing here as James McDonald gets a drive for the first time, comes right back, right to the winner.
He's building up, and good for Chris Ryder, who just cleared the 2,000 mark for training victories earlier in the week, and super nice guy. Spent time with him last year at the Meadowlands. Really good guy.
Break time. Mickey and Minnie winning the Roses Are Red final. We'll see you here on FS2. And it's winner circle time, of course, in the Roses Are Red final, and it was Mickey and Minnie. James McDonald with driving duties, an impressive victory, and really just gutted it out. The last martini Louise Girl were both chasing, couldn't quite get there to Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, she got a good tightener in her first start of the year. She came back and win her a limb, and then she was able to get the job done here, and she loves it here. I mean, she won a Breeders' Crown race here last year, too, as well. So Chris Ryder has got her off to a good start so far in a deep division this year.
And you've already been kind of thinking about Mickey and Minnie and, like, where do you go after this and kind of where could this one be going?
I think we're going to see her throughout the summer. There's a couple of races they could cherry pick for her. I think it's all going to be up to Chris Ryder, though, what they're going to want to do with her as well. I think Chris Ryder's going to go back now and take a look at not only her, but also Twin B Joe Fresh and kind of figure things out and plot out a course for them as we go on for the summer. But nice effort from the last martini as well.
I got you. There was a nice race a little earlier as well. We had the Good Times, and we had some familiar names in there. And it was the Good Times final. It was race number 3 on the card. And guess who? Dexter Dunn, Marcus Melander teaming up once again.
I tell you what, this was a career effort for this horse, being overloaded on the outside in the flow. And just take a look at the way that this horse trotted home from here on out. Because right now, you're watching him go, and you're kind of like, all right, he's going to get there, he's going to get there. And then all of a sudden, Dex just asks him, and he just trots up and gets away from Magic Punk, who was an elimination winner and did well to get up at the end. Stop the clock, 2 and 152 in here. Marcus Melander's horses, he likes to take their time with them. He doesn't rush them off this effort. I think you're going to have to start to think about this horse going forward now towards the Hambletonian. Magic Punk, I thought, ran well, too, being an Elim winner and also a horse that is also on his way to the Hambletonian as well. So summer's shaping up to be good.
Yeah, it's important to remember it's a long season. Like, horses start to point to different races, and of course the Hambletonian, looking forward to that always. So the Good Times, a race earlier on the card. It's important to keep track of.
Far away.
I know, it's
August
right around the
8th, so it's not that far away for these horses.
All right, we're going to continue on. Let's go back to Hoosier Park as they get ready for their 11th race, and Emily, their trackside.
A nice group of open trotters set to go postward here in the 11th race, guys. A purse of $22,000. You talk about horses going everywhere and going a little bit of everywhere. Pondajet, not one of those horses. He is a horse for the course, and he is, you talk about home court advantage, certainly has it here. This is a horse that's got 83 lifetime starts, just 5 of those away from Hoosier Park. He's hitting at an 80% in the money lifetime clip. He's been the bridesmaid, if you will, the runner-up in his last number of starts. But he is just an incredible animal, especially here for Hoosier Park. He's Indiana's 8th Trotter of the Year last year in 2025, and as I said, just 5 starts outside of the state. We talked a little bit at the top of the show, a horse by the name of On to Norway. He's been chasing him all season long. No On to Norway tonight. That's where we're seeing him right now at 3-5. Kyle Wolfong, a great matchup with this horse. He does so well. A horse that we typically see forwardly placed. I expect much the same here tonight. You look at him on the track, he's cool, calm, and collected until that gate folds, and he's got one direction, and that is straight to the front. I expect much the same from this horse. Jay Hostetler's done a great job campaigning this horse throughout his career. As I said, 80% lifetime in the money, $826,000 as he approaches that $1 million mark. There are a few other horses here that have taken a swing at him in previous seasons, and will look to do the same. One of those is the 5 Drink Up from the Walter Haynes Jr. barn. 6 times a winner this season. 2 back, 152 and 4, was able to get the best of Pondajet, pace home in 28 and 1. Had a chance to talk to Walter Haynes Jr. He said, this guy's kind of a goofball. Where you see Pondajet on the track, he's a big son of Dover Dan. Drink up, much to the contrary. He's a small horse, likes to goof around, and but he's another one. When the gate folds, it's all business. And he's really shown some dimension. Talked to Brandon Bates as well a little back in the paddock, and he said, you know, last year the horse was not able to be first up. He didn't have a lot of versatility. He liked to track horses down in the lane, and this year, for whatever reason, at 6 years old, he's decided he can be a little more versatile, and he says that's just another tool in his belt. So I think that plays nicely here as Pondajet draws to the outside of him. As I said, taking a look at him here on the track, he's not a real big horse here, but he is all tries. So I think that plays nicely. Pondajet, as we said, maybe a little one-dimensional. I maybe shouldn't even say maybe. He is one-dimensional. Likes to race on the front. That is his game. And but Drink Up, going to try to take a swing at him here, and you're getting a nice price at 5-1. So Ponda Jet, my top choice in here, 2-5 favorite, looking for his third win of the season from one of our top barns, Jay Hostetler. We'll send it back to you guys in New York.
Paul, it's fun to watch those up-and-coming stars, but also these hard-knocking veteran-type horses, not, 5, 6 years old, but they continue to just show up, and it's nice to try to put that puzzle together, just like this 11th race at Hoosier.
Yeah, pushing $3 million in earnings for this entire field when you combine them, and they're all happy that Arnton Norway has come east. I mean, and he just won again last night at the Meadowlands. That makes 27 in a row, and he did it in a record time as well. So, and they say some of these horses from the Midwest can't travel or do anything, so it was good to see our good friend Arnton Norway win 27. It's hard to get one, let alone 27 in a row. And I know Ponda Jet has lost 5 straight races now, but I just feel like in this race, in this spot, he should have things his own way in here. I know Drink Up's beat him twice already in the last few spots, but you're looking at a horse in Ponda Jet. He's only missed the top 3 one time in the last 2 years. I mean, that says something. That says something. That's a horse who loves to do his job, and he's out there every single time racing in open levels as well. He's faster than this group on his best. Hopefully he is his best, but you also have to take into consideration you have a horse who's 1-2 who is now lost in 5 straight starts.
Right. Been behind on Norway, kind of seeing some horses finish in front
too,
at a very short price.
Run him down. So Payson trotted him down late. So it'll be an interesting battle here, but, I mean, he should be out front in here. I would just think he's going to be in front.
Kyle
no
Wolfong's got the driving duties. The 6 is going to be Ponda Jet. Quite a few of these happy to not see that top contender in Arnton Norway. But tonight is their opportunity. It's track announcer Michael Chamberlain. It's the 11th race at Hoosier.
Field for race 11 behind the Midwest Standardbred Horse Sale starting gate. Pick 4 on races 11 through 14 starting here. Ponda Jet is 1-2. Here they come. They are off. Pretty even beginning. Finite moving up on the outside Ponda Jet. Drink Up also there with Famous Father. And then it's Watch Miss Tucky, 3 lengths behind that pair. The early trailer is E.R. Kelly. As they move on to the turn, Ponda Jet is in front now. Ponda Jet has it by a length from Drink Up as they pass the quarter in 26-2. So they go on to the back stretch. Fast first quarter there. Ponda Jet in front by 2 lengths. Racing in second, Drink Up. And then after that third, Finite. Famous Father is fourth, followed by Watch Miss Tucky. And E.R. Kelly continues to trail the half dozen as they approach the half-mile pole. Ponda Jet and Kyle Wolfong. They're in front here by a length. Drink Up getting the pocket trip second. They pass the half in 55-3, 29-1 for the second quarter. Ponda Jet, the 3-5 favorite up top. Drink Up, then Finite. Famous Father is next in fourth with Watch Miss Tucky and E.R. Kelly. They move midway around the second turn, and Ponda Jet continues to carry them along. Drink Up. Now to the outside goes Famous Father, trying to move up past Finite. Watch Miss Tucky and then E.R. Kelly. Into the stretch, 3/4 time, 1:25. Ponda Jet the leader. Drink Up to the outside. Finite to the inside. Then Famous Father. Watch Miss Tucky on the outside with E.R. Kelly the trailer. Ponda Jet still trying to hold on. Has it a length. Finite, Drink Up, trying to get closer, but Ponda Jet still has that 1-length lead. Ponda Jet coming to the finish. Ponda Jet prevails. Second was Finite with Drink Up.
Ponda Jet prevails, as track announcer Michael Chamberlain just said. Happy to not see some of those contenders in front. Ponda Jet gets it done.
Yeah, the old pro went right to the top. I didn't even think they were going that fast early. It turned out to be a 26-2 opening quarter that they trotted. Difference, I think, tonight for Drink Up was that Drink Up left and ended up sitting second, and I think it just took a little bit of the late trot away from him there. Nice effort by Finite, though, but Ponda Jet got to business in deep stretch and got the job done.
Kyle Wolfong, the 6-year-old gelded by Dover Dan. It's break time here on America's Day at the Races, but we got so much more. And don't forget that North America Cup later on.
Say hi to our new stallion, Highland Falls. From his winning debut to that spectacular Jockey Club Gold Cup.
It is Highland Falls.
Even his buyer was high. The race his sire made his own by a widening 4 lengths. A host of Grade 1 winners far behind. High and Goodbye. Running a 107 when second in an All-Star Whitney. The rise and rise of Highland Falls. High class, on the track and on the page. This is his dam, winning the Acorn and then the Distaff. Aim high. Breed to a well-bred son of Curlin. Highland Falls, new to Darley.
The official Belmont Stakes Barstool Sports Collection is here. Check out the hottest styles of the summer. Shop this limited drop before it's gone. Get yours at shop.naira.com.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Sign up now and use promo code MATCH200 for a $200 new member bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
Coming, Explorers down toward the rail, but it's always a runner. She's going to do it in the Kentucky Oaks. Always a runner. She's all the runners on top of the world.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race from every track on every screen every day. Monthly packages starting as low as $5 per month. RTN gives you great value and access to more HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire.
It's post-parade time here on America's Day at the Races. It is on tape. It's the 9th race there at Woodbine Mohawk Park. And, of course, it's the Mohawk Gold Cup coming up in a field of 10 set to go postward.
Yeah, contentious group here. Start with Remember the Alamo. Do you remember the Alamo?
No, but I know the one is 40-1.
Yeah, he's going to be a price in here, too. You got to brush up on your history here, Red.
Here you go.
Remember, I guess you haven't been to the Alamo.
I've been to Texas before.
Okay.
Jason Bartlett, one of the drivers that you've mentioned plenty of times here on the show, and is going to have the 2 in Coach's Corner at 14-1.
Our good old friend Coach's Corner had a great year last year, too. Banked almost $1 million. This year he's 2 for 6, and last week he got to the top in that auger, actually back on May 24th, excuse me, then ended up finishing 4th late.
Off a couple of wins, here is the 3 in Lou Hill.
Lou Hill got a sweet trip in that Camelot Classic to get the win last time out. Couldn't have asked for a better trip.
And here is the 4 at 14-1.
Fuca Falls got back to one of his better races last time. I was just against much lesser, but we've seen he can do okay against this group way back when.
Bob McClure is going to be having the driving duties here on the 5 in Calico Jack Hanover.
Couldn't get to Irwin Hanover last week. I don't think it's going to be that much different this week either, but still a nice enough horse.
Yannick Gingras by the Missile, the 6 at 9-1.
The Missile just hasn't had that much luck in the races that he's been in, whether he's been just posted bad or just couldn't seal the deal. Tonight he might run a little bit better on the pace in this spot with a good post draw.
Prince Hal Hanover, Todd McCarthy, 7-2.
I'm always a fan of Prince Hal Hanover. He's been in form. He raced huge in defeat in that Battle of Lake Erie race last Saturday. He's going to leave hard, I think, here to get some position. He's going to have to against this group.
And here is going to be the 8 at 19-1, Brew Hanover.
What a difference a year makes. This horse won this race last year at 2-1. So maybe Maneri will flip the exacta here with his bigger price here.
Dexter Dunn, the 9, 4-5, Urban Hanover.
Made it look easy. It's the Dan Patch older pacing horse of last year, too. And I don't think he's going to take any prisoners tonight. He should be able to get the job done in here.
And long shot, Captain Luke.
Captain Luke did win against Lesser last time out. He's going to have to step his game up, though, from a post that's not so good.
Let's go to Gabe right now, trackside.
Thanks so much, guys. Standing by here with trader Dave Maneri, one of the perennial top traders here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Getting set for the Gold Cup here. Dave, you sent in a couple to this race. First of all, talk to us about the 8 Brew Hanover. A bit of a long shot coming into tonight.
Brew doesn't throw in too many clunkers. He was last year's Gold Cup champion, and we're here to race. So hopefully him and James landed a good spot.
He comes off a good third-place effort, but that was beaten by your stablemate, Irvin Hanover, who all eyes are on him tonight. Tough post 9, but he's got a ton of early speed.
Yeah, he can race anyway. I'm sure Dex will work it out. but there's a lot of speed inside. You know, he's going to have to work to get there. You know, the shoeing change, he wore Loomis all year last year, and now things are starting to get a little more serious. So shoeing change, and he had a foot bothering him last week again. You know, it just rained before his race. Track was pretty hard. I think he was at 80%. I'm hoping he's closer to 98% tonight.
That sounds like that would be plenty. You know, he has the fastest standard in the history of Woodbine Mohawk Park, 146-2. You think he's got that type of effort in him again this season as he gets a little stronger with each start?
Yeah, I sure hope so. You know, I want to win the big ones. You don't get paid for going fast, but sometimes you got to go fast to do it.
All right, Dave, best of luck. You'll send out a couple here as we get set for the Gold Cup.
Thank you very much, Gabe. And Paul, taking a look at this 9th race. Where'd you go?
I ended up on the 9 Irvin Hanover. I just love watching these older age division horses throw down like this, and this is a very good field. I know the post isn't ideal, and I'm taking a short price on him, but he just made it look too easy last week, and I'm hoping he can do it again. And I love Dave Maneri's line saying, well, Dexter's going to have to work it out. If anybody can work out a trip from anywhere, it's Dexter Dunn, believe me.
These races are always tough. These are horses that know how to win. It's the Grade 3. It's an invitational. It's the Mohawk Gold Cup. Any last thoughts before they go off?
Calico Jack Hanover is an interesting horse, and Brew Hanover too, I think, because last year he was 2-1. Today you're getting big double digits, like 28-1 on him tonight too. So maybe I have a Maneri exacta in here.
All right, let's send it up to track announcer Chad Rosemont with the call.
Here they come. Field picks up speed, and away they go. They're often pacing in the Gold Cup. And striding out of there is By the Missile, along with Lou Hill to that one's inside. Also into the scene early, Prince Al Hanover along with Vucaphalis. Into the top 5s, remember the Alamo from the rail. Outside of that one, headed into the opening turn, Calico Jack Hanover. Then it's Coach's Corner. Settling in behind that one now, Irvin Hanover has got 2 beat. Brew Hanover and Captain Luke. Lou Hill and Doug McNair leading the way just over a length after a 25-4. Opening quarter, he'll take them into the backstretch. A length in front of By the Missile, who's second. Vucaphalis tracks third in front of Prince Al Hanover fourth. Calico Jack Hanover is 5th, and it looks like he'll stay to the outside as Prince Al Hanover's on the move for McCarthy, first up out of 4th. Inside is Remember the Alamo, 3rd over Irvin Hanover, getting closer. Following him is Coach's Corner, Brew Hanover to the inside, and Captain Luke trails. Down to the half in 54-2. Lou Hill leads. By the Missile, in behind him second, Prince Al Hanover, now accelerated on the outside a length away. Second over, Calico Jack Hanover inside, locked up 5th. Vucaphalis, 3rd over. Dunn's got Irvin Hanover within striking range now, about 5 off of the lead. And then Coach's Corner. Remember the Alamo. Captain Luke and Brew Hanover, 3/4 in 1:21-2. And they turn for the Mohawk Park stretch. Prince Al Hanover trying to wear down Lou Hill. Now tipping off that one's covers. Calico Jack Hanover. Even wider comes Irvin Hanover. Gingras trying the inside with By the Missile. Lou Hill pacing hard. Prince Al Hanover, Calico Jack Hanover, and Irvin Hanover continuing to claw his way after the lead. Lou Hill looking for the line. Irvin Hanover's up. It's Irvin Hanover up on the line for the Gold Cup score in 1:48-2.
Great.
It was the 9 Irvin Hanover there just in the late stages.
Dexter Dunn, I mean, listen, he found a way to work it out. It's just he never saw a pylon, and he still made it work out. This horse just ran phenomenal. Poor Lou Hill. I mean, Lou Hill got to the top, was able to get the scramble to the first turn, pace out in front, be able to hold that lead, did everything right, but win the race because Irvin Hanover, 3rd over in the flow, never saw a pylon. This was a dynamite effort for this horse. Look at Dex getting to the wire, kind of just like geared down on him too. So a solid effort. Dave Maneri's got to be happy with this one. I'm sure he was kind of thinking early on, this isn't looking so good with this horse being parked the entire mile.
It makes me think of words that Gabe has told me before about Dexter Dunn. Right now, he is scary good with all the moves that he's making. Let's take it to Woodbine Mohawk, to Gabe, and just right now.
Dexter Dunn is setting himself up to have quite the nice night here, Gabe. Just to unfold that race a bit, he never saw a pylon with Irvin Hanover. You talked to Dave Maneri. He said, I'm sure Dexter will work out some sort of trip. I'm not sure that was maybe the trip he had in mind.
Well, the tough thing was you heard Dave was a little nervous about all of the early speed inside of him.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw off that gate. It was a bit of a shootout into the opening turn. So with that tough post, Irvin Hanover really had no choice, Jess, but just to sit out there, float. He got the follow cover. And how about this? I mean, a good 10-horse group here. We We had 5 in and 5 out around the far turn, and may the best horse win. It was Irvin Hanover. Despite that tough trip, just digs and digs here. He's now 2 for 2 to kick off his new campaign. Jess, how about this? Dave said he thought he was about 98% into the night. Woo, we still get a little improvement maybe going forward.
Yeah, Lou Hill did everything right and just got beat at the end of the mile. What about Prince Hal Hanover? That was a game journey he went as well. Of course, he's now 4 years old, facing the older foes. I think that that mile is worth noting as well.
Yeah, it really is, because he moved twice. It's very hard to do here in standardbred racing. When you leave the gate as he did, and then you attacked again first over there on the outside. So when you make 2 moves like that early on in the race, it's just so difficult. He was game in defeat. Of course, Dr. Ian Moore will hope to catch up with him. Bet he's going to send out the favorite guys in the North America Cup a little bit later on tonight, Bojangles. But Prince Hal Hanover here from the same barn, a good, solid third-place effort. But at the end of the day, it was the favorite.
Yeah, Paul, you see the horses that like to win a lot of different races, so many with a chance there at the end, but Dexter Dunn again gets it done.
I love this division. This division, the greatest thing about it, man, they went at it going into the first herd, everybody pacing away fast, hooked on the outside, didn't matter. They always throw down. They always bring it. And it's hard to see them streak wins together because they're all so good and they're at the mercy of the way the trip works out. Trip didn't matter here. Irwin Hanover was much, much the best in this spot, just based on his trip alone. And Prince Hal Hanover, like they said, made a good account of himself facing the older horses for the first time.
Yeah, you talk about some of the big races on the program, and of course the North America Cup, and talking about the great history of a race like this, and just kind of our travel through time a little bit, the history, and taking a look at the history of a race of this magnitude, where we're going to find a new winner tonight. But taking a look at that timeline, and this is going back, we're looking at the Queen City Pace, the original. This is back in, some of these days are so small for me to see, but you know these races quite well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I just love, too, when you watch this, I love watching the evolution of the way the driving takes place and also the equipment that these horses have, the sulkies, the whips, the driver's posture. John Campbell, there's my guy, GOAT to me. Won his 6th one back in 99, did it 6 out of 9 years, too. I love the trophy, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, just coming into a race like this.
The trophy's a great trophy. Some beach somewhere, too, one of the GOATs.
Because this is a time where we're seeing a lot of the world compete here, right here on a national stage, or a global stage, I should say. And a race like this in North America, we're talking about Bojangles, we're talking about Odds on Mr. Mamba. We do get an opportunity to see some of the best in the States, some of the best in Canada really match up, and who's going to hoist that trophy here tonight.
It's prestigious, you know, and James McDonald's hoping to do that. It's the one race that's actually eluded him, and he is the king for a reason with all his driving titles up north of the border, also all the big races he's won. He's a world driving champ, having traveled the world. But as we said early on, when that one race eludes you that's in your own backyard, you have to have some kind of fire or desire to go after it. And he's got his best shot tonight with Odds on Mr. Mamba. We'll see if he can make it happen.
And we do talk about sports, though. When a driver gets in the zone like this, Dexter Dunn, you're starting to see his name. You're starting to see him just have that magic touch more and more. Is that going to continue throughout the evening? Because this is a guy that can stay atop the game, and he's at a very high level, especially here tonight.
Dex can string them together, and I think that the one cool thing about him is his demeanor. He never, ever panics out there. He got dealt a hand tonight with Irvin Hanover. He could have rushed up. He could have tried to find a different way. Instead, he sat outside. He waited for the cover that he got. He's third over in the flow. And right here when he came off the turn, I was thinking, all right, he's got a head of steam. Can he get there? And as they kept on going, and as the race collapsed with the exception of the leader, because Lou Hill ran tremendously and paced tremendously in there. Right here, I said to you, and I hit the table too, I was like, he's going to win this race. And sure enough, he got up in the final strides. I just think Irwin Hanover was best. You could see it last time, and he carried that form into tonight, and he did it under less than ideal circumstances when it came to track. And important
again for us to remember that these are horses that like to win races, so you have to go get them, and you have to be able to get by.
Lou Hill has nothing to be ashamed of. He's really, really turned a corner this year, being 7 for 11 and now 7 for 12, but 4 seconds as well. I think Lou Hill's going to be heard from too, wherever he turns up next.
Trained by David Menery, we thank him for his time, and he gets to the winner's circle there. Dexter Dunn, they team up with the 6-year-old by Captain Treacherous, Irvin Hanover, with the big win in the Grade 3 Mohawk Gold Cup. Let's go back out to Hoosier. They've got their 12th race coming up. It's post-parade time. We got a scratch of the 3, and we got a short price towards the inside, 9 to 5, looking like right now. It's John DeLong. It's going to be Shelter in Pace I like that. I like that clever name there, and that is the one right now at 5-2.
Oh, for 32 the last two seasons. I think the biggest thing about this entire race as a whole, Chris, is you're looking at a lot of horses who are huge prices that are now going to be short, like the 1 in this spot.
The 2 is not a short price at 44-1. Admit.
No, he's 0 for 33 and only 9 for 209 lifetime.
Here is the 4 at 9-5. Mystic Terror.
Mystic Terror at least has a few wins this season. Last time out was up close early with the pace, kind of faded late.
And here is the 5, the 6-1, May Pearl.
This is my top pick. Drops and at least has 2 wins on the season. I think is going to help immensely with the drop here.
Jordan Ross, the 6 at 22-1.
No early pace. This horse likes to come late into the race.
Absolute Peach, the 7, 6-1.
A little forward lately, just hasn't been able to finish off the miles.
And here is the 8. Tell Me Please, Atlee Bender, 4-1.
Still drawn outside, and I think that's been this horse's problem. But again, another horse who's been a big price, who's going to be a short one here tonight.
Here is one more big price, 20-1 right now on the 9.
Just a bad draw for this horse. 0 for 5 this season, 2 for 21 last season. He's going to have to overcome that outside draw.
It is race number 12. It's a 1-mile pace, and Emily Gaskin's been there all night. Let's go back to Emily, trackside at Hoosier.
Thanks, guys. It's still a beautiful night at Hoosier Park as we get ready for this 12th race. A condition pace of fillies and mares, a condition pace, and a nice group. We do scratch the 3 out of here, so all horses to the outside there will move in one spot. And the betting board, a little interesting, as you said. Right now we're getting 2-1 favoritism on the 4 Mystic Terror. It's actually my top choice in the field. I love the driver change to Trace Tetrick. Trainer Dan O'Mara, he has had some success here at Harrah's Hoosier Park. And this mare, 4-year-old mare, last out 4th at 28-1, 54-1. And as I said, I like the driver change. The driver switch to Trace Tetrick, Hoosier Park's leading driver rather. She draws one spot to the inside with that scratch of the 3, and just looking for a little better price because you've got a horse like Shelter in Pace, 9-5, 7-5 right now from the Tom T. Tetrick barn. My biggest concern here, she has that offer in her win column, not only this year, but last year as well. She went 0 for 15 last year, 0 for 17 this year. So that's a big concern for me. You talk about John DeLong. He's already had a few winners on the program. I did have an opportunity to talk to T. Tetrick, that of course the older brother to Trace Tetrick, and he said this mare, she's rounding back into good form. She can be a touch inconsistent for his liking. She has her up, she has her down, but he said she trained extremely well this week, and he's got a good feeling about her, especially with the inside post draw. I just was not willing to settle, as I said, for that 8-5 price with those O's in the win column. So even with the inside post draw, I went elsewhere. I went to the 4, as I said, Mystic Terror, Trace Tetrick, my top choice in here. Another that I think is interesting, though, that I took a long look at, that's the 8, Atlee Bender. As we talk about drivers, Atlee Bender actually chose the 8, Tell Me Please, over the earlier mentioned Mystic Terror, who is my top choice in there. Robert Wyman sends out this 6-year-old mare. She's had 12 starts this season, been on the board in 7 of those starts. And her last out, when you want to throw that line out, you look at that last quarter department, 25-4 on the end of it. That was really cooking home, though she didn't muster much for it. An 8th place finish. You got to appreciate a 25-4 closing quarter. And as I said, Atlee Bender choosing her even with that outside post draw. So that kind of speaks volumes to me. Wasn't crazy about the outside post draw, hence why I went elsewhere. But if you're shopping for a price, this is kind of a wide open group. I don't think you have to settle for a short price. And I think Tell Me Please is one of those that's currently offering some significant value. She's got her lifetime best taken here at Hoosier Park of 1-52-3. And as I said, beaten 9 lengths, but you got to love that last quarter that she came home. So a nice group. I know Paul was talking about the 5, May Pearl. Got to give her a long look as well. Right now at 4-1 on the odds board. Kyle Wolfong, maybe a little quiet tonight. He did get the job done with Ponda Jet. He's one of our top conditioners as well. But Steven Searle, this one dropping in class, which I think is key here. She's making a significant class drop. Last 2 outs, hard to gauge her performance because she was facing quite a bit tougher company. So the class drop could be just what she needs. She draws right to the middle of the pack. And as I said, Kyle Wolfong already with a winner on the program. She's right now at 9-2. My top choice in here right now at 5-2. I'll stick with Trace Tetrick and Mystic Terror. Going to hope to get the job done and, of course, beat that 3-2 favoritism on the inside and Shelter and Pace. We'll send it back to you guys in New York.
Thank you, Emily. Getting ready for race number 12. And Paul, I'm going to ask you for your top pick, but before I do that, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So when you look at, we're going back and forth, right? We've got a Grade 3 Mohawk Gold Cup. We've got a big race at Woodbine Mohawk. And then we also have some of these, types of daily races that we see. Is there a handicapping kind of idea or sense that you can relate to both? Do you take the same approaches or something we can point out? And again, we'll talk about your top pick, but when you look at different class levels of races, what are you specifically mainly looking for? Those time figures specifically?
I'm looking more so at trips to see what trips the horse pulled last time out, if they were stuck in an outer flow, if they were stuck in dull cover, if they ended up pinned down to the inside, couldn't get off. Also looking at horses if they're dropping in class. Now, a good example here is, I said early on, these are a lot of horses in this field who were huge prices that are now going to be shorter prices based on maybe a drop down. The one, Shelter and Pace, for example. Horse is 0 for 32 the last 2 seasons, but 3-2 here. Look down in this horse's form. 5 starts back. This horse ran in a non-winners of 1,000 in the last 4. It's not the non-winners of 1250 in the last 4. I'm not sure if they've changed the way that they're writing their conditions for races, but this horse ran second, beaten 3/4, and paced home pretty well in that spot with 60 cents on the dollar. Still couldn't get the job done, but ran better on a class drop. So I'm kind of taking that into consideration. But when you put that up against the fact that this horse hasn't won in the last 32 starts, it's hard to take a 3-2 shot in here. So when you kind of trickle down the effect to take a look at my top selection of Maypearl, as Emily said, hard to gauge this horse's last 2 starts. Faced much better horses. Faced Schnaps, who we saw earlier on run second, early on in a race that we saw here. And Schnaps is a better horse, obviously, than Maypearl was at that level. Now dropping in class, getting down into this 1250, might wake this horse up a little bit, drawn well. We'll see if we can get a little bit of early pace from her as well in here. So for me, it's a lot of taking a look at horses that are either, for these levels, dropping in class, or if they've had a trip last time out, and seeing how they came home. Did they come home quick enough? What are their times? Are their times going up, final times for themselves, or are they going down?
And pretty transferable, you feel like, throughout different class levels. You can watch trips and you can watch different
I think there's a little bit of a difference for me when I look at a Lua Deepa as compared to a Shelter and Pace, but I guess the philosophy remains the same as I'm looking at trip handicapping and who's cycling up to a better start.
Right before post time, top pick?
5, Maypearl. We're going to see if this horse, with the drop in class, can wake this horse up a little bit at 5-1, because it's very hard to take 6-5 on Shelter and Pace, even 3-1 on a horse like Mystic Terror.
He's a tremendous handicapper. He's Paul Verderosa. He likes the 5 in here, 5-1. It's track announcer Michael Chamberlain with the call. It's the 12th from Hoosier Park.
Money on Shelter in Pace. Here they come. They are off. Moving up for the lead, Absolute Peach, and also on the outside, Tell Me Please. Third is Maypearl. The favorite, Shelter and Pace, gets away fourth. Then it's Mystic Terror. After that comes Admit. The next one is Straight Bet Baby, and Twinkie's BB is the trailer as they move around the turn. Moving up for the lead, Tell Me Please. Passing the quarter in 26-4. Tell Me Please is the leader. In the pocket second, that's Absolute Peach. And then racing next third, Maypearl. Shelter and Pace is fourth. 2 further lengths away to Mystic Terror. Admit is sixth. Seventh is Straight Bet Baby. And the trailer is Twinkie's BB. Approaching the half-mile pole, the leader, Tell Me Please. Atlee Bender has her in front through a half-mile of 55 2/5. Absolute Peach second, followed by Maypearl. The 2-5 favorite, Shelter and Pace, is fourth. And then after that comes Mystic Terror. Moving to the outside is Admit to try and advance. And then it's 2 more lengths to Straight Bet Baby, and Twinkie's BB is the trailer. As they come to the top of the stretch, Tell Me Please a length. Absolute Peach, Maypearl to the outside, trying to move up from third now. Three-quarter time, 124-3, 29-1 for the third quarter. Tell Me Please, Absolute Peach. Maypearl is closing down the outside. Shelter in Pace has come way out here, nearest the grandstand. And then down at the inside is Mystic Terror trying to move up. The leader now, Absolute Peach. Maypearl, Shelter in Pace. The three of them across the racetrack in deep stretch. Shelter in Pace here on the outside is getting the better of it late. And Shelter in Pace wins over Maypearl. Third was Absolute Peach, then Admit in 153-1.
John DeLong in the late stages there with Shelter in Pace. Your 5, Maypearl was right there, but the 1 just a little bit better.
Yeah, this was not you're not going to see these horses in sire stakes action.
And it's important to point out, too. We were just talking about it.
To be fair, I mean, I still believe the 1 was a bad favorite. I know the horse ended up ultimately winning. It's just that it was a bad field as well. Maypearl, eventually did come first over and was able to kind of wrest the lead for a nose. I didn't think the 1 was ever going to go by, but finally he did. So kudos for Shelter in Place to finally getting a win. 2-5, though, is tough to take on a horse like this.
Yeah, very short price gets it done. We've seen long shots. We've seen favorites. We've got so much more. And don't forget, we've got the Pepsi North America Cup as well. But up next, the Fan Hanover Stakes. More from Woodbine Mohawk. Welcome back to America's Day at the Races. And there's Little Brown Jug. Paul Verosa, do you know who the only filly is to win the Little Brown Jug?
It would be Fan Hanover that we're looking at. She was so cool. I mean, she won 45 of her 72 races, and she was Canada and U.S. Horse of the Year, dual Hall of Famer. And she's like super cool too, because she held, I mean, for the filly that she was, to be able to be as fast as she was too on the halves and the 5/8, she's got some records there as well. So super cool horse.
Race number 10 is named for Fan Hanover. It's the final. It's $420,000. Nice person here. And we've got a field of 10 set to go post parade. Let's take you through that post parade right now. Here is the one Easy Station.
This horse didn't have that bad of a year last year. Now comes back and is going to be a big price in this spot. And hasn't run all that badly, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a huge number when you have two standouts in the race. But I think you could do worse than using her in some of your exotics.
The 2 is Sangria Summer at a big price.
Sounds about good. Could use a Sangria up here. It's a little warm.
Absolutely.
But 26-1 for her in this spot. She's a long shot player.
A name we're very familiar with. Here's Luadipa at 1-2.
Yeah, she's probably the most talented horse in this field by far. And she came back and won 48-3 last time. So she's solid and ready to go.
And the 4 is going to be next here at a big number, 53-1 on Lavender Sealster.
Yeah, you don't get big numbers like that often on Dr. Ian Moore, but you are in this spot. And she's not a bad horse, but she's going to have to step it up in here.
All right, right now, number 5 is showing up here at 9-5, so taking plenty of action.
Yeah, well, you're perfect 9 for 9 lifetime. I'm hoping she gives Luadipa everything she could handle because I want to see a good matchup here. And she's gotten bigger and muscled up, too, when I see her on the screen. She looks good.
And we're moving right along here is the 6 and Perfect Thought.
Perfect Thought's going to be showing some late pace in the mile, so we'll see if she gets a setup in the flow.
And the 7 at 53-1 is Gentilly.
Gentilly also came from off the pace last time behind Perfect Thought and does big number here tonight.
And we'll continue on here. Some big long shots. And number 8 is going to be Dia here at 81-1. So we're getting some very, very big prices.
Second to Luadipa last time, but was beaten almost 3. So she was a non-threatening second against Luadipa.
Jason Bartlett's got the driving duties here. The 9 Gala.
Yeah, going out for the Andrew Harris stable. And 4th last time behind Be Perfect BG. Beaten quite a bit.
A Clean Deal is going to be a 34-1 to the outside.
We'll see what kind of trip this horse can pull with the early pace that she does have, but she's going to be up against it, I think, a little bit against this group.
Jess, Gabe, your thoughts. Race 10.
Well, Be Perfect BG Gabe is looking to remain undefeated in her career, but she's going to have to take on the likes of Luadipa, who loves Mohawk.
Luadipa, the fastest 2-year-old filly in the history of the sport, guys. 148 last year. She's from post 3. The undefeated filly, Be Perfect BG, post number 5. It's a heck of a matchup here. Just 2 fillies taking all the action as we head into the Fan Hanover final. We'll send it upstairs where Chad Rosema will have the call.
Race number 10. The fillies in the hands of the starter are lined up at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Gate picks up speed at the start, and away they go. They're off in the Fan Hanover final. Be Perfect BG, Luadipa, Easy Station, and also Dea put into the early mix. There's Sangria Summer from the inside of the top 5. Then it's Perfect Thought. Back to Lavender Sealster, Gentilly from off the pace. The last pair, Gallon, A Clean Deal. Into the opening turn, Luadipa inside, Be Perfect BG on the outside, getting stretched out to clear. Quarter reached in 26-3, and Be Perfect BG not by yet. She'll now take over in the backstretch, but Luadipa stretched her to get there. She's in second, Easy Station third, Sangria Summer fourth, Dea's fifth, then Perfect Thought, being followed by Lavender Sealster, starting up Gentilly, then Gala, and another 3 to A Clean Deal. Be Perfect BG leads just over a length in front of Luadipa. And they're to the half now, and it's Be Perfect BG. They're in 54-2. Luadipa floated up to be the second choice. She is second right now. Perfect Thought. First over, third inside, fourth for Easy Station. Gentilly getting towed into a nice trip. She's second over. She takes over fourth now. Third over is Gala. To the inside shuffled Sangria Summer. A Clean Deal's picked up a couple of positions. Next to last is Dea, and trailing Lavender Sealster. Be Perfect BG with the lead to 3/4 in 121-2, and she turns for home with her perfect record on the line. It's Be Perfect BG on top. Perfect Thought outside. Luadipa, and Ren rouses her up the inside here. Be Perfect BG and Luadipa with a stretch battle over the final 8. Be Perfect BG or Luadipa on the inside. 2 great fillies right down to the line, but it's Luadipa to come out on top in the Fan Hanover final. Be Perfect BG, great in defeat to be second. 148-1. That's a new stakes track Canadian record. Luadipa.
What a finish there as Luadipa just calling on all that class, coming after the upstart undefeated and Be Perfect BG. Luadipa gets the win.
You can argue that she is the most talented horse in the sport just based on what we saw here, and just blew out a bunch of records right there. And that was a stretch drive that was really full of pace and really good. And I think trips mattered a little bit in here. I think getting stung a little bit took a little while to stretch to get the Perfect BG to the top. But man, she's got nothing to be embarrassed about in defeat because she lost to a very great filly in here in Luadipa. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This is one of the best.
Let's go to Gabe Pruitt right now.
Thanks a lot, Chris, standing by here with winning trader Ronnie Burke. And Ronnie, this was a heck of a horse race down the lane.
Yeah, like I was a little bit worried on the turn there, but like Ronnie had faith. This is how he saw the race fit in out. He says, I'll get away in the 2-hole and, hopefully we can just out sprint him. So I give him credit. This is how he drew it up and worked out great.
It looked like a little bit of a chess match between the two favorites going into the opening third. As you said, a plan by design there to maybe put Dexter in the front and take a little bit the best of the trip.
Yeah, no, and you figure out the preferred horses just went 48-2 off the same fraction, so that tell you what kind of mile it is out there tonight. So, Ronnie just does everything right now, and I'm so happy that he's driving her and very happy. What a good effort.
Confidence in your filly there turning for home when you knew you had a tough target up top?
Yeah, no, I knew if she made room, she did. She's never passed on the inside before in her life, but that's something she'll learn to do. She's just a good horse. It's a lot like the Colt last year. If you give them the chance, they're going to win. So I'm happy.
Ronnie, congratulations. She certainly passed at the inside now, guys. A stakes and track record, Luadipa in the Fan Hanover.
Nothing better than seeing a great race. You want to see the stars show up. The stars certainly did. Tremendous victory for Luadipa.
Yeah, the two horses on paper that were supposed to show up did no shame for either one of them tonight, but Luadipa was just that much better.
The 3, Luadipa in the Fan Hanover final. Come on back to America's Day at the Races.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Sign up now and use promo code MATCH200 for a $200 new member bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
A warrior from the start.
Dornoch is coming back! Dornoch in the Remsen!
What separates the best isn't just talent, it's meeting the moment. Look your rival in the eye and say, not today.
It will be Dornoch to win the Belmont Stakes.
And Dornoch stubborn! Dornoch wins the Haskell!
A world-class athlete made for the fight. That's Dornoch.
Adelphi Racing Club offers the unparalleled excitement of owning thoroughbred racehorses at a fraction of the cost. We're not just a syndicate, and our members aren't just investors. We are partners. Our New York-based high-performing equine athletes, trainers, and jockeys compete and win at the highest level circuits. Contact us online to get a taste of the Adelphi difference, and let's win races together.
A reputation of excellence isn't built overnight. Day by day, year by year, decade after decade. For over 100 years, Claiborne's commitment to quality has led to unrivaled success. Building on the past, building for the future. Claiborne Farm. The tradition continues.
Just a short 50 miles away there from the, of course, world-famous CN Tower out in Toronto. It's a gorgeous night, but, it's interesting that we have, one of the biggest cities in the world, Toronto, just this bustling metropolis, and then just a little bit down the road, we've got Woodbine Mohawk Park, a nice track where we see tremendous performances, and we just saw one there from Luadipa.
Yeah, so a record performance, actually, for Luadipa, and right about here, Lua Diva was looking for that little bit of room with Be Perfect BG on the front end. Gave it to her. It took her a while to go through there, but boy, she had a head of steam and a lot of late pace, and she was able to get through and take the lead. And Be Perfect BG actually came back a little bit on Lua Dipa as they got close to the wire, but Lua Dipa was just too good, all class, all heart, and she's turning into a really good one. We said it before that she was probably the most talented horse in the race, you could argue, in the sport, and she proved it tonight. Wins and losses don't matter sometimes. It matters the trips you get and the races that you win and the heart that you have, and she showed a new dimension tonight. As Ron Burke said, she was able to go up the inside and to get that win. So solid as they come, but no shame for Be Perfect BG.
Getting set for our next race is going to be, of course, the big one. Race 11, it's a grade 1. It's for 3-year-olds, $1 million, the Pepsi North America Cup. Tremendous race. We see Bojangles right now, the 5 at 4-5. Of course, we talk about odds on Mr. Mamba, 5-2. We're probably going to continue to see the wagering kind of sit very similar to this, but just as we saw those big stars show up, let's take a look at last year's North America Cup and talk about that edition, because tonight's going to be the 43rd, but on that 2025.
Blueprint with a half-length lead to 3/4 in 1:19.1. That's the fastest 3/4 in the history of the Cup, and Blueprint turns for home. He's got a lead of 2. Madden Oaks trying to rally up the inside. Dandy Ideal, Captain Optimistic, better in the straightaway. He starts to close. Madden Oaks up the inside, and Blueprint trying to fend him off. A couple of Cup rookies battling it out right down to the wire. Inside is Madden Oaks. Blueprint comes back to win it.
Told you it was a good race.
Yeah.
The 2025 North America Cup, and tremendous performance when the stars show up. Blueprint did it there that night.
Blueprint did, and Madden Oaks just was a huge price, and I still have no idea how it found his way down to the inside from the 10 hole, and Madden Oaks was just never the same after that race, and that was a shame, but Blueprint just went on to have a solid season. I know then ended up a little bit hurt at the end of the year, but nevertheless ran exceptionally well in there, and it was good to see Ronnie Wren get it. Ron Burke, of course, he's won everything, so he was happy to see him get the job done with Blueprint as well. So solid effort. Maybe we can get that kind of race again this year out of this group, because it's listen, we have the makings of it, on paper, if it lives up to it.
Sounds good. Looking very forward to that. It's coming up in just a bit. It's race number 13 at Harrah's Hoosier Park, and let's go trackside. Emily Gaskin with more.
We got an appetizer here for the big one. We got the 13th race at Hoosier Park. This is the Indiana Sire Stakes eligible 3-year-old pacing fillies. We saw the Indiana Sire Stakes fillies a little earlier. They did not disappoint. This is just a step below those, the Indiana Sire Stakes eligible, so the B team, if you will. But a nice group of pacing fillies. We're going to scratch the 3 out of here, and right now the current favorite is the 5. That's Change of Order from the Jay Hostetler barn. This is that Jay Hostetler, Kyle Wolfong combination that we saw win just a few races ago in Ponda Jet. So this is a 3-year-old filly by Odds On Aquilius. As we talk about the North America Cup, same sire here as Odds On Mr. Mamba. So if you're looking for an angle, Change of Order may be that angle. She's been on the board in 3 of 6. Took a lifetime best 2 back of 153. Last out, she faced a similar company, and she was just 3rd best that night. Paced home in 27-1, 55 on the end of it. She's got some pedigree behind her. She's also got the connections as well. We've seen some prices come in here and there. I'm going to take a swing here with the price. I took a long look at the 7. That's Miss Come Together from the Randy Chrysler barn. Marcus Miller aboard. Here's a 3-year-old filly. We just saw Shelter and Pace, who was winless this season. Similar story here for Miss Come Together. She's 0 for 7, but she's been on the board in 3 of 7. I think the most interesting note here, she joins the new barn for the 3rd consecutive start. She joined the Randy Chrysler barn 2 back. I liked what I saw from this filly in that first start. She paced in 53. That was a huge improvement, a big step forward for her. And then she faced a very tough bunch, a similar group in her last out, and I thought she held her own. She paced home in 26-1. That was the best start that we had seen. She's right now at 9-1. A good price here, but a nice group of young pacing fillies set to go postward. We'll send it back to you guys in New York.
Thank you very much, Emily. Getting ready for this 13th race. Any early thoughts here as we are getting closer to post time there at Hoosier?
In the passing lane, scratch really changed the complexion of this race because the horse was the morning line favorite. I ultimately ended up on Change of Order, who's now going to end up probably being the favorite when the gates open up here.
One scratch there of the 3, and we've got 2 horses that are really taking a brunt of the action. We're looking forward to the North America Cup, and we got to jump on over. Head on over to FS1. We've got plenty more. We'll see you there in just a moment. All eyes. The Standardbred World point north of the border. A contest that began in 1964, now the crown jewel of 3-year-old pacing colts.
He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on. Some beach somewhere in Paul Macdonell by 4.
50 miles southwest of Toronto, Campbellville serves as the stage for this matchup.
He's 3 lengths on top here, and they're not going to catch him. Lather Up continues to roll, and he's rolled to a Pepsi North America Cup.
Last year's Horse of the Year, Bojangles, looks for redemption after facing defeat for the first time against Odds on Mr. Mamba.
Here's Odds on Mr. Mamba and Brandon Boulevard in between. Brandon Boulevard or Odds on Mr. Mamba hitting the line together.
Tonight, dreams become reality under the lights of Woodbine Mohawk Park. The North America Cup is next. Welcome to our audiences here on FS1. It's America's Day at the Races, and just 50 miles away from that point right there, the CN Tower, of course, in Toronto. We're talking about the Pepsi North America Cup, which is going to be happening here tonight. It's Woodbine Mohawk Park in Campbellville, Ontario. Plenty of great racing coming up. And we've also been at Hoosier Park. We've got their race coming up too. It's Chris Griffin here at the desk, joined by Paul Verderosa. We've seen a fantastic evening so far, and the best is actually still yet to come.
Yep, you came in at the right time because we got the big one, the North America Cup coming up, $1 million on the line. Maybe redemption night for the previously undefeated Bojangles, but Odds on Mr. Mamba, Brandon Boulevard, they might have something to say about that. We'll find out.
Yeah, these are tremendous stories that we always see in sports, right? Who's going to maybe bounce back and have that big performance, or are we going to see that new up-and-comer take the crown? It's the Pepsi North America Cup. We've got race number 11. We're also getting close to the 13th race at Hoosier Park, and I think we're going to head out there in just a moment because we've got right on top of a race. We are fast and furious. We're on FS1, and we're getting close to post time there. Emily Gaskin's been helping us out there trackside. Quick selection as we're taking a look at Hoosier, Paul Verderosa.
With the 5 change of order here, ended up in the flow. Last time had to come first over, took the lead, kind of faded a little bit late. Should appreciate this class here is perfectly posted in here to get a win tonight.
Welcome to our FS1 audience once again, and we've got a couple more races to go, and they're big ones. It's track announcer Michael Chamberlain out there in Anderson, Indiana. It's their 13th race. It's an Indiana Sire Stakes eligible. It's Hoosier Park, and they're 13th.
4-5 on Green River, 8-5 change of order. Field is now turning into the stretch. And here they come. They are off. Change of order starts well. Also moving up is 6 Jays. Green River to the inside, as is Super Cricket. Beautiful Mistake is 5th, 6th and last early on, Ms. Come Go Getter. Change of order is the leader as they move on to the first turn. Change of order has it by a length. Green River is racing second, followed by Super Cricket. They pass the quarter in 27-3. There's a length and a half off to 6 Jays. 5th spot is held by Beautiful Mistake, and Ms. Come Go Getter is the trailer. Moving up the back stretch and moving up on the outside, Green River. Green River sent along by Trace Tetrick now to take over. That puts Change of Order back to second. Then racing third, Super Cricket. Another 2 back to 6 Jays, followed by Beautiful Mistake and Ms. Come Go Getter. The opening half came and went in 55-4, second quarter of 28-1. Green River in front of Change of Order. Then Super Cricket is third. Now 4 lengths back as that top trio trying to get away from the other 3. Beautiful Mistake advancing on the outside of 6 Jays, and then Ms. Come Go Getter. Green River, Change of Order, Super Cricket. Here comes Beautiful Mistake. Beautiful Mistake is moving nicely around the second turn as they arrive at the top of the stretch. 3/4 time, 1:24. Green River is the leader. Change of Order on the outside. Beautiful Mistake. Super Cricket. Coming to the final 1/8 of a mile. It's still Green River with the lead. Being urged on by Trace Tetrick. Change of Order and Kyle Wilfong. They're trying to get to her, but Green River is still a length and a half. Change of Order, then Super Cricket. It is Green River who gets the victory. Change of Order was second. Super Cricket holds third over Beautiful Mistake, 152-2.
It was the 2, Green River, just not letting the 5 change of order by.
First move was the winning move by Trace Tetrick, got the job done.
All right, we're going to come on back from a break. A reminder to our FS2 audience, head on over to FS1 and come on back. It's the 43rd Pepsi North America Cup. We'll see you on FS1.
Some Beach Somewhere still not getting his cue from McDonnell. He still leads by a length and a half, and he's at 3 quarters in 1:22.27 and 1/3 quarter speed. Some Beach Somewhere comes into the stretch, leads it by 2 lengths. Mucho Sleazy all out second, Badlands Nitro all out third, Santana Blue Chip on the helmet from in fourth, and here's McDonnell, and here he is, Some Beach Somewhere. He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on. Some Beach Somewhere, and Paul McDonnell by 4. Cup 25 to Canada's horse, Some Beach Somewhere, and he's home in 1:49.
That was the 2008 North America Cup, and many of the rivals tonight are going to try and replicate that performance. But when you talk about Some Beach Somewhere, 2-time Horse of the Year, a Hall of Fame inductee, one of the best.
One of the best. Sired some great horses, too. I'm thinking of Captain Treacherous. I'm thinking of Limelight Beach won the Jug, and Somewhere Over Rainbow was another cool horse. And just a total class. And Paul McDonnell, too, was one of my favorites in the bike.
Special moment here. It's race number 11. It is going to be their post parade, and there's quite a bit that's also going on during the post parade. And Paul, I know you know plenty about it, and we'll talk about it, but we're getting ready to see the field, and we are going to have a long shot to start things off. It is race 11. It's a $1 million purse. It is the Pepsi North America Cup. And there is Malillo.
One of my favorite things about the post parade for this race is not only does a trainer come out, but you also see their caretakers or their grooms come out with them and all. And I loved the time that I spent in paddocks watching the caretakers care for these horses. It's just something to love. Melillo has a soft spot in my heart. I love this horse from the Ron Burke barn. 4th beaten 3.5 last time out. Does draw inside here. Should have some pace early.
75-1 right now. You're going to get the 2 Redland Rocket Man at a big number.
Has been 0 for 5 on the season. Will have to improve. This horse is probably going to drop back, and if we see or hear any noise from this horse, it'll be late in the mile.
And we were talking about those limbs, and here is the number 3 at 5-2, James McDonald. He's seeking it out. Odds on Mr. Mamba.
I got a question for Gabe, which he can answer too. I wonder if we've yet to see the full-on bottom for this horse, the full-on speed, the full-on talent. Maybe Gabe can answer that question. And also last week, too, with odds on Mr. Mamba getting way out in the stretch and taking a tour of the outside part of the track. We'll see what he does tonight.
Well, right next door is going to be the 4 at 7-1. That is Sweet Lovin' Lou and Scott Zeron.
You know, he popped and pushed and paced right on by last time. Not a bad catch, driver. You're picking up here in Scotty Z. When the money's on the line, there's no better person than the money, man. 7-1 in here is a nice price on this horse.
It really does stand out, though. James McDonald lands on the 3, not the 4 in this one. Important to point out. All right, here we go. There is the 5 at 4-5. Bojangles, Bob McClure.
For me, it's redemption night for him. If I'm Bob McClure, I am just gunning out of there. Let them catch me, string them out. If I lose, I lose. One of those take no prisoners kind of pacing drives. Now, he did pace last week in 1:48.3. The question is, can he go faster? Because 2 others paced a little faster than him last week.
All right, you've seen some of the top contenders. Here's a couple long shots. Lindy Dragonwater there at a big number.
Yeah, I don't get Jason Bartlett at that big of a number these days. But another one from the Ron Burke barn in here, beating 3.5 last week.
The 39-1 shot here. We're going to see the 7 in just a moment. It's going to be Andrew McCarthy with the driving duties.
Not a bad trip last week. Was able to end up running 3rd in the race that Sweet Loving Lou ended up winning. I think it's going to take a little bit more for this horse to compete against the level of horses in here, though, to get a win tonight for sure.
All right, we're going to be taking a look at Yannick Gingras in just a moment here, teaming up with Ron Burke, and you're getting quite the number right now at 31-1.
This horse ran sneaky well last week, too, because he cut out some pretty quick fractions pacing away out of there. So eventually he ended up getting beat, but he did end up running 2nd in there. So his best effort of the year to date. He's cycling up to a really good start here. We'll see what the intent is leaving with him. But 31-1 from the Ron Burke barn. Give him a look.
That is the 8 Al Poppy. Here is No Wait List, the 9 at 47-1.
No Wait List is another horse that'll probably pace out of there pretty quickly. We'll see what kind of trip that this horse can pull from out there. It's going to be rough sledding, but we've seen a 9-horse win earlier tonight.
And from a post position standpoint, it's going to be towards the far outside, but not given without a chance. 5-1, Brandon Boulevard. It's that man, Dexter Dunn.
In this race, though, historically, since they've changed it to the 7/8, this post position is over since 1994.
Wow.
So Brandon Boulevard is going to try and buck the trend at 5-1. Ran a good 2nd last week, but now has to deal with the dreaded post 10 in here. And I think it's going to be a little bit tough. So got to kind of watch the price you want to take on Brandon Boulevard.
Really nice tradition there with the post parade. You can see how much the connections appreciate it. Let's go back to Jessica Otten and Gabe Pruitt, trackside, Woodbine, Mohawk Park.
Thanks, guys. This is the one we've been waiting for, Gabe, the North America Cup. A stacked field of 10 in here. We saw those eliminations last week where James McDonald swept both of them. Sweet Lovin' Lou and odds on Mr. Mamba. He picked up that drive when Dexter Dunn opted for Brandon Boulevard. He draws post 10 in here, and then you have Bojangles, who faced his first loss of the season. He gets the winningest post position right now in North America Cup history. He's your favorite at 4-5.
Yeah, there's no question, Jess. Bojangles, again, 15 for 15 coming to that elimination loss last week, but he's the horse to beat. He's Canada's horse. We knew he was going to be the favorite here tonight. We'll see if the backers are correct in the assumption that he can bounce back here and get back on track. It's just a heck of a horse race. I mean, this is really a career-defining race. This is the biggest race of the entire year for 3-year-old pacing colts. $1 million on the line. It's the biggest stage you can possibly have, the greatest night here every single year at Woodbine Mohawk Park. And again, this race truly defines stallions, I think, moving forward for the future of the sport. So it's a little bit of David versus Goliath, Jess. Bojangles stands at 16.3 hands. He is as majestic and as good-looking a horse as you could possibly ever see. He's the even money favorite. Not to disrespect odds on Mr. Mamba, but he's a little small horse. His stallion odds on Aculius, he had just 18 foals the year that the 3 odds on Mr. Mamba was born. He stands for just $2,000 over at Indiana. There he is. You're taking a look at him. You see just a small little horse, but believe me, he has a major motor. But again, it's shaping up here for the two favorites to be a little bit of a David versus Goliath battle here. Bojangles, that big, strong, just muscular-looking horse. And you see the little guy, Odds on Mr. Mamba, who we're taking a look at right now.
We had a chance earlier to catch up with trainer Ron Burke. He's going to send out 3 in here, Malillo, Al Poppy, and Lindy Dragon Wanderer. And I think he said it best. Now with Bojangles facing his first defeat last week, now it's going to be a real horse race. Horses that maybe not thought they were going to leave the gate before are going to leave now, and they're really going to make all of them work for it.
Yeah, and you simply, I mean, you put $1 million on the line, but this is an absolute full sin fest. It is going to be a heck of a shootout. We're really looking forward here, again, to one of just the absolute biggest stages of the year.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good one. As you can see, the horse is taking a majority of the money, the 2 elimination winners, plus Brandon Boulevard, plus Bojangles. We'll send it back to the guys at the desk to get their thoughts on the NA Cup.
Yeah, and those 2 eliminations you're speaking about there were on June 6th, Jess, and taking a look at elimination number 1 is Sweet Love and Lou, who's going to draw post 4 here tonight. Taking a look at that first eliminator.
So the start of this race we're showing because there was a little recall issue. Al Poppy kind of a little bit steppy, and there was a recall issue there and some issues. So that's why you see that. But now taking a look at the race here, I mean, when you look at Al Poppy, who cut the fractions that he cut, and then you look at Sweet Loving Lou, they both ran by far their best efforts, obviously, of the year, and they were able to run 1-2 in there. My problem with Sweet Loving Lou tonight is, in a race like this where there's take no prisoners and everybody's together, I just wonder if he's going to end up getting lost in the shuffle and end up having too much work to do. At least Al Poppy's going to be a little bit more forward, and that's just a little bit more why I like him better than Sweet Loving Lou.
It felt like going into the night that elimination number 2 was really going to be watched heavily and maybe a touch stronger, if you will. There was Bojangles going in undefeated. Odds on Mr. Mamba getting it done.
Well, you know, Bojangles' case, I mean, he ended up coming first over, and he took in all that air in that spot. I don't think it was a bad effort at all, because honestly, he paced the mile of his life. He ended up stopping his own clock in 1:48.3, which is the fastest he's ever run. You know, so I kind of feel like going first over in that spot, you know, I think it kind of just hurt him with the fractions there were. And Odds on Mr. Mamba's been running exceptionally well, as we know. Has been running fast times, as we know, and was able to parlay it here. I don't like that Odds on Mr. Mamba got way out, but tonight will be a different story, maybe.
Yeah, those were last time. $1 million on the line here tonight. Let's go to Gabe, trackside.
Thanks so much, Chris. Standing by here with trainer Andrew Harris. And Andrew, we just took a look back at the replay from the elimination last week. Brandon Boulevard, your Colts, he raced super, but he was beaten a neck, which unfortunately means he had an open draw here tonight. He couldn't get one of the inside posts. You get slammed with post 10 tonight. A tough draw, but you're in it to win it.
You know, he's a great horse and a great driver. So, you know, in Dex we trust, so just hope for a good trip.
And talk to us about that decision, because Dexter Dunn, obviously heading into this race in the elimination, listed on Odds on Mr. Mamba, also listed on Brandon Boulevard. You know, how did you get the capture, Dex, of the bike? Obviously, he's having a great night and great season once again.
Actually, I didn't talk to him about it. He just called me and said, I'm going to go with Brandon. So I thought it was a big show and faith in Brandon, and that he thought he was the one to stick with for this part. So I'm very thrilled to have him, and obviously the way he's having a good night like this, I feel good about him.
He's usually in the zone on these big nights. We know post 10 tonight, do you think your hand's a little bit forced here? Do you have to leave out there and get some early position?
You got to try to find position, stuff like that. But, I mean, I leave the driving part to Dex. He's so good at it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the part that sucks is you're leaving your fate up to what everybody else is doing. You can't really take your fate into your own hands. So that part, we're just left to what these guys do.
Andrew, best of luck. We'll be going behind the gate here in just a couple of minutes away, guys. Andrew Harrison's out Brandon Boulevard. He'll have to do it from the outside post right now up there at 7-1.
There you see our top handicapper selections there. Jess, Gabe, they like the 3. Paul, you're going to go with the 5. You think Bojangles' redemption happens tonight?
I hope so. I know I've given this horse a hard time because I said, he's only racing in Canada. He really can't hack it with some of our horses that are here. He should leave Canada. But I got to tell you, last week's mile changed my mind about him. You know, eventually the win streak was going to come to an end. Even the connections had said that. And I think, you know, they were – I don't want to say that they were happy it happened there, but it's better it probably happened there than it happens in this race tonight. So I think if I'm Bob McClure in the way that he's driven at times, if you get the opportunity to just get out of there and get there fast and get yourself positioned, whether it is first or sitting pocket, just go. You know what? This horse is fast. He can pace fast. Take him as far as you can go, as long as you go, if the lead is there for you to take. If it's not, then find a comfortable spot to do it.
Let's go back trackside. Gabe, Jess, your thoughts here, race 11.
I think it's going to be a good race here ahead of us, Gabe. And do notice, too, nobody was scoring their horse down overly aggressive out there.
Yeah, that's interesting because you would think that you typically when you do score a horse down very aggressively, Jess, that means that, you want to try and make an attempt to leave the gate. You want to get your horse fired up here as we get to head to the start. I noticed the same thing. Everyone seemed to be, keeping their horses nice, calm, cool, and collected. Now, heck, we know with that much money on the line, someone's going to take an early poke here, but all the action continues to drive in here on Odds on Mr. Mamba, Bojangles. I'm going to go with Odds on Mr. Mamba. I just think he's the fastest sprinter. You see him on the track there right now, the little guy. I think if he's anywhere close turning for home, that he just might have enough to out-sprint these through the lane. It's a heck of a field, though. The most highly anticipated race in Hardest Racing to date this season.
Yeah, I'm going to echo your thoughts there. I'm going to go with Odds on Mr. Mamba as well. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a shootout into that first turn. 4-5 right now on Bojangles. He's the one who got upset last week by Odds on Mr. Mamba slightly. He faced his first defeat of his career. There they are, 10 behind the gate. Chad Rosema, he will describe the North America Cup.
Odds on Mr. Mamba, who did get by him last week, 2-1. Brandon Boulevard, also just past him. He's drawn the 10-hole, post 6, but in great hands with Dexter Dunn and Sweet Love and Lou, the other limb winner at 7-1. A field of 10 are all lined up. We're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Pacers pick up speed, and they're underway in the 43rd Pepsi North America Cup. Leaving outside, no wait list, along with Al Poppy. Bojangles sizes them up in the center. Malillo from the rail. Brandon Boulevard into the top 5 from the 10-hole. Behind him, Odds on Mr. Mamba to the inside. Redland Rocket Man. Outside of that one is Sweet Love and Lou. Then it's Azrael, Blue Chip, and Lindy Dragon Water. Here's Al Poppy and Jingra continuing to drive forward. 26-1 the opening quarter. Hot on his heels is Bojangles, and Bojangles up on the outside. He makes his move after the lead, and Bojangles set to take over from Al Poppy. It's no waitlist back in third, and Malillo fourth. To the outside is Brandon Boulevard in front of Odds on Mr. Mamba. Second over. Third over from the back is Sweet Love and Lou. To the inside, Redland Rocket Man and Lindy Dragon Water. And at the back is Azrael Blue Chip. Down to the half in 54-1. Bojangles, the leader into this bend. On the outside is Brandon Boulevard, inching closer, a length away. Second, Al Poppy in behind Bo, third. Second over, Odds on Mr. Mamba. A perfect trip macked out by McDonald. Then to the inside is no wait list. Third over, Sweet Love and Lou, Azrael Blue Chip, Malillo, then Lindy Dragon Water and Redland Rocket Man as they turn for home. This is the best part. 121 and 1 3/4, and with $1 million on the line, here's Bojangles. Brandon Boulevard on the outside, relentless, continues to come forward and off cover. Odds on Mr. Mamba starting to close. Al Poppy up the inside. Here comes Odds on Mr. Mamba. Brandon Boulevard. Odds on Mr. Mamba. King James gets his cup in 148-1. It's Odds on Mr. Mamba, the Indiana sensation, up in the final strides.
The 43rd Pepsi North America Cup goes to a king. King James McDonald there getting it done. Odds on Mr. Mamba. All credit to the horse. Tremendous effort, and they take down the $1 million.
This is going to be a popular win just because of James McDonald as well. Listen, this almost ended up the same way that the elimination ended up. Odds on Mr. Mamba, way on the outside, was in the flow, ended up just getting up there late. Brandon Boulevard hitting the line together with Bojangles.
Let's quickly go right trackside there, just gone.
Thanks, guys. I have winning trainer Melanie Wren. Mel, they all left the gate in there aggressively. You had post 3. He never saw a pylon. What were you thinking going up the backside?
Oh, my God. I didn't know. I'm like, is he in? Is he out? Is he in? Is he out? I'm like, oh, my God. I was trying to watch my phone to see where he was. And just freaking crazy. Like, when he came up, I knew he was coming.
James has been a nice fit for this guy last week and this week. He couldn't have mapped out a better trip.
He's amazing. He's amazing. How lucky did we get?
Pretty lucky. And I have a guy like Dana Parham behind you as well. Just speak to the efforts of him.
Dana Parham is awesome for this business. He has put so much into it, and he's put a lot of faith in us, and we appreciate him, and I hope that the rest of the industry does too.
Well, I got a video of you watching the race. I'll have to show that to you a little bit later, but I know you want to go catch him. Congratulations.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Jess. Thank you.
There you have it. Melanie Wren teams up with James McDonald, the King. King James, he's going to capture his first North America Cup here. Odds on Mr. Mamba, never saw a pylon, 148-1. Back to you guys.
You don't need to even listen to us. You can just watch. You can feel the emotion. James McDonald, just a crowning achievement for him.
Absolutely so happy for him, and you can see just the exuberation at the wire, knowing he finally got what has eluded him for his career.
Odds on Mr. Mamba. How about a cool million? Getting the job done in the 43rd North America Cup. We're going to talk more here on America's Day at the Races.
Excelling on a cross of New York turf and Kentucky bluegrass. A 6-time graded stakes winner, including the Grade 1 4-Star Dave, Grade 1 Turf Mile, and the Grade 1 Maker's Mark Mile by leading champion European sire, Lope de Vega. So he's got that going for him. Carl Spackler, the ultimate greenskeeper, standing at Lane's End.
Get your ticket to the longest season in Saratoga history. Season tickets and season passes are on sale now for 46 days of action at Saratoga beginning Friday, July 3rd. Lock in your summer plans at NYRA.com/Saratoga.
The official Belmont Stakes Barstool Sports Collection is here. Check out the hottest styles of the summer. Shop this limited drop before it's gone. Get yours at shop.nyra.com.
Charlatan is the leading second crop sire by stakes winners, graded stakes winners, and graded stakes horses.
Charlatan, ultra impressive. It's a new day for a new king.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race from every track on every screen every day. Monthly packages starting as low as $5 per month. RTN gives you great value and access to more HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire.
America's Day at the Races here on FS1, and Woodbine Mohawk Park has been the site of the North America Cup. $1 million odds on Mr. Mamba, and Paul Verderosa sitting right next to me. You said Elimination 2 kind of told the story in our top 3.
They did, and they ran exactly the same finishing order and exactly in the same way across the track as well. Bojangles, I thought Bob McClure did the right thing. He got to the top. He tried his best in there, and he was game. Listen, I'm not going to tell you that he didn't pace hard to the wire. He still had the lead here, and he was fighting off Brandon Boulevard, which if anybody could have ended an 0 for streak from a 10-hole, it's Dexter Dunn, and he almost did that. But, boy, odds on Mr. Mamba. Never saw a pylon, was in that flow, ended up wide again, still found a way to get up at the end. I guess we didn't see the bottom of this horse, and I'm really happy for all of the connections, and it's good to see a horse from Hoosier get the job done as well.
The stars have shown up tonight, and that includes Jessica Otten and Gabe Pruitt. Let's go to them trackside right now at Woodbine Mohawk.
Well, yeah, that was nothing less than short of exciting there. Odds on Mr. Mamba, he got the job done. What about the mile he put up, though? Never saw a pylon. Ended up picking up that cover from Brandon Boulevard. Bojangles gave it his all as well. A heck of a horse race.
It really was. This was a three-way thriller, guys, all the way through the stretch. I mean, Bojangles dead game in defeat. Brandon Boulevard went a heck of a mile there in between horses, but odds on Mr. Mamba. We talked about that late kick, that late sprint from the little guy. You see him drift out towards this large crowd on track tonight at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and he's just going to reach up at the final strides here to get it done. Scary thing is just his third start of the year. I think this horse still has a lot of improvement in him.
Yeah, you talk about horses being set up for maybe the Hambletonian for those 3-year-old male trotters. This is just June 13th. We are just a couple of starts into everybody's season. I don't think we've seen the bottom of them. I don't think we've seen the best of the best. And the next time we're going to see him meet up is the Meadowlands Pace.
And that's going to be great because it's right here on this air again, guys. The Meadowlands Pace Eliminations July 4th. The Meadowlands Pace Final coming up on July 11th. We'll all be anticipating that. This race could not have, been any greater tonight than it certainly lived up to the hype.
It's definitely going to be a great season to follow. The Glamour Boys on the pacing side. We're so glad that we were able to bring you all the action here live from Campbellville. Odds on Mr. Mamba. The Indiana horse, he's going to get it done in that North America Cup. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, guys. And yeah, you talk about James McDonald. You saw him just let out that scream. And it's not only just for this race and the purse and odds on Mr. Mamba in this performance, but the culmination of a career.
It is, and for a guy that's done so many things in his career, this again was the one race he just couldn't get his hands on, and he finally did it tonight.
Winning moments come with payouts there as odds on Mr. Mamba went off at 2-1. Brandon Boulevard was right there. Dexter Dunn trying to do it again at 6-1 in that exacta. Bojangles showed up. Just was third best.
Yeah, and listen, there is no shame from any of these top three runners. Bojangles, Bob McClure did the right thing with his horse getting out of there where he needs to be. Brandon Boulevard, Dexter Dunn found a trip from the 10-hole. And odds on Mr. Mamba just happened to be best on the night. But a great race, really. It was a great race. Great racing top to bottom tonight.
Yeah, and somewhat formful. I mean, when you take a look at it, but that's what you want to see. You want to be able to see you handicap it here, and it really plays out on the field, if you will, on the racetrack. And all the performances really came through, and it sets us up for what else is going to happen in the summer, as you heard our guys talking about there.
Yeah, looking forward to the summer down the line. I know that we come back July 4th for Meadowlands Pace Eliminations. Looking forward to Pace Night. Going to be on site there at the Meadowlands again. Had a lot of fun last year. Good to see everybody. You'll see them again. Hambletonian, August 8th.
Hambletonian.
Always a great time. So a lot of good action coming up down the line for sure.
Let's talk about that action. Let's take a look at it. It's all the harness racing that's going to be here on our Fox Family of Networks Graduate Finals, July 4th. Meadowlands Pace on July 11th. You were talking about many of these days. Hambletonian Day. Circle that one on the calendar, August 8th.
A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to being there. I will be at the Meadowlands for both the Pace and Hambletonian Day, so it's always good to see people. Come and say hello. I don't bite. It's always fun, and that's the next time I will see everyone. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be a part of the July 4th show, but I'll be keeping track of the action, and it's going to be a very good summer, especially within these divisions. The Mickey and Minnie division's very deep. The older horses always put on a great show in the age division. 3-year-old, we just saw Pacing putting on a great show. I think we're going to have some great moments there as well as we go on down the line. So lots to look forward to this summer. Hopefully all the horses stay sound, because that is the main thing. That's what we want to see, that they stay healthy all year, because it is a long season to get them through this part and then get them to Breeders' Crown at the end of the year as well.
Already been an amazing season so far, and we're just getting started. It's really still yet to come here on our Fox Sports Networks. And you take a look at Hambletonian Day again. Circle that one on August 8th. Hey, we want to thank Emily Gaskin for working with us at Harris Hoosier Park throughout the evening, and also our folks there in Campbellville, Ontario, just 50 miles from the CN Tower. Did you know that they're in Toronto? And it's a wonderful night of great racing, the North American Cup. We saw tremendous performances.
We did. Luadipa, to me, I think was ultra impressive in that race against Be Perfect VG. I just really think that she showed just how much of a superstar that she really is. And odds on Mr. Mamba, and I guess it doesn't matter that horse got out in the last 2 starts. As long as you're winning, it doesn't matter. So it's going to be a happy night tonight up there for everyone.
Always a great time to do it with you, Paul Bertarosa. Thanks again to Gabe Pruitt, Jessica Otten, our entire team. What a great night. It was Luadipa, as you spoke about, and of course, talk about odds on Mr. Mamba getting up there for $1 million in the North American Cup. What a night. Next show, come on back. It's tomorrow, 12:30, 5:30, America's Day at the Races. We will see you then tomorrow.